All right. What's up, Luke? How are you, man? How you been? What's up, Josh? Oh, how you guys doing? Wasn't your birthday like a week ago, Josh? How was that? How did it go? Doc Teleon 5. What's up, Luke? So there's two Lukes in here. Deck Teleon 5. Is that your incognito name? Oh, that's Artyom. What's up, Artyom? How are you, buddy? What's up, Nick? Anthony Robles. What's happening? Oh my God, 5 taps. Man, did it work? Did that set work for all 5? Mechanical triage. What's happening? The topic today is, man, you know what? It's Friday. It has been a hell of a week. And how do you I mean, really, it's like, how do you stay focused when you're so far under a project and you can't work on anything else? That's a really difficult thing to do. And I can tell you there's a lot of different things that can happen from experience. You can get down and frustrated and just take yourself down a bad rabbit hole. And then you can't walk away. I can't, man. Uh I like my coffee with creamer. I can't walk away. It's the Audi. Man, I'm stuck on that thing. I got a really nice text message from my manager today, though. Actually, just a little while ago, it made me feel good. Work for all 5, no problems, no drilling, no damage. Oh my God, Anthony Robles, man, that is fantastic, man. So if you guys don't know, I made a video about a tap extractor, a broken tap extractor set, and and Anthony Robles asked me about it. He got it, and he just took five broken taps on Sunday. So that's awesome, man. So yeah, so my manager he texted me and said thank you for staying focused. Thank you for staying focused, and he knows it's not the most fun experience, and he appreciates the positive attitude and getting it done. So, anyways, that was a nice thing to. What's up, Tyrone? That was a nice thing to get this afternoon because I worked on that thing all day and I had some ups and downs with the how should I say this? I had some ups and downs with trying to stay positive. Maybe I wasn't like laughing, but I wasn't in the greatest of moods all day. And then I think about halfway through the day, I was just like, you know what? You gotta just roll with it, man. It's like it's just one thing after another, and you feel like you're underwater, and every arm pull of you're not going anywhere, you're not moving. But am I getting the Wi-Fi problem again? Oh, the other night it did this at first. It gave me some funky Wi-Fi stuff, and then it was good for like, man, almost 2 hours. Um, yeah, Tyrone, I will, man. We seem to have quite a bit of diesels and stuff like that. So, Steven, what's happening? everybody's week, man. I needed to talk about cars and just it's Friday and yeah, I don't know. I'll tell you what, I'm kind of made some headway with the Audi. It made me feel pretty good today. I got all the harness ran up top. I think I got everything in the back. I got everything in the back hooked up. The only thing I have left to do is there's 2 heat shields on each behind each head that cover the air injection valves that are on the back of the heads, and you have two bolts that come in from the back. One goes into the air injection valve, one goes into the head, and then you have 2 that come up like that, and you got to get them from underneath. So I raised it up. I got the back one started, raised it up, got the bottoms tight, and then got all the bolts tight for all the lines, the water lines, the tranny cooler lines, and got all that hooked up. So still have a ton of work to do. Oh my god. But I think Monday, I think running pretty early. So Tony Tool time. What's happening? Hey, it's Friday, everybody. Cheers. Had to stop and get I have Coors Light at the house, but you know what, man? I just needed some 805s. Had to stop and get some 805s on the way home. And yeah. Joey, what's up, buddy? This is one of those things where I don't know. I was just happy to leave. Tyrone, what did you think about my Sprinter Turbo video? Not a lot of videos on that stuff, man. I don't know. That's why I made that thing. So, trying to make a video on the timing chain for this Audi. I don't know. It's kind of tough. I don't know how it's going to turn out because I'm kind of jumbled and jambled, and I kind of took it apart. And I didn't know that the supercharger had to come off because they don't tell you to take the supercharger off. But there's one bolt, and I'm sure I talked about it on Instagram. There's one bolt in the back of the timing cover that goes under the supercharger, and man, although the supercharger was easy to take off, I mean, don't get me wrong, it was just some electrical connectors and some vacuum lines at the back, and then a couple coolant hoses at the front, and we take the paint pen, we mark all the hoses, so it's like super easy to put them back on. Just put them on, bring the clamp up, line up the line, and you're good. So, right spot or anything like that. So, I'm telling you, today I'm at the back of this thing. What's up, Bill Beckett? I'm at the back of this thing and behind the intake, and I got one hose. The only thing I cannot figure out where it goes. I'm looking everywhere. Actually, I had a hose and one connector. Fine. The hose has a pink paint pen. But I got this one hose that I can't find. I don't know where it goes. And he happened to look over and he saw the air injection, the air intake tube, and he saw a pink line. He brings it over and it had one like a vacuum nipple on the air intake hose. It had a pink line on it. And so he knew right there, like, this is it. So, anyways, I'm telling you, the paint pens work. It's for real. So you guys will be very happy the first time you do something like that. And it comes in handy. So, how was you guys this week? How's everybody's week? Anybody working tomorrow? Am I getting a bad connection again? I think I am, huh? Man, it seemed to do so good the other night. What's going on, ETR Garage in the house? What's happening? How are you? How are you guys? Off today and tomorrow. Oh. So you work Sunday through Thursday, maybe? Yeah, Anthony, what you always working? Working on a BMW V10. It literally fell off the back of a ramp truck. Holy crap. So, Bill, so you must be doing a lot of suspension work then, huh? Tony Tool Time uses the paint pens. Telling you, man, I got a whole brand new package of paint pens waiting just to be used. But I thought my other ones were wearing out, but they're still going strong. All of them, white, silver, pink, yellow. All those suckers are going like a solid. All right, let me catch up over here. All right, so Bill Beckett is working on a BMW that fell off the back of a ramp truck. Anthony Robles is always working. Not me. I don't work on the weekends, man. All day tomorrow, special project day. Man, you got some cool projects. Mechanical Triage. You guys should go check him out. You got some really cool projects going on. Did you guys get that? I saw the one post you had today of that. Was that a Bronco? I had a rough day. I wasn't on social media a lot. I mean, I was posting, but that you guys were taking to the dyno um, to have it tuned. Tony Tool Time's got to work tomorrow. Anthony Robles, where do you live? Say the Bay. I can't remember. I can't remember if we talked here about that. Sunday to Thursday for now. Wow. $21,000 and the hauler dropped it off the back. Holy crap. East Bay. Okay. We're in the East Bay. I used to live in Pleasanton. I went to high school in Pleasanton. 500 plus horsepower. Yeah, man, that's crazy. Oh, there. Mechanical. Let's see. Oh, sweet! I can't wait to see it. He's got a video later tonight. Are you still doing that disc brake conversion on that? Is that a Chevelle? It was a Chevelle, right? That's all right. I was on CP. I was just trying to hang out with everyone. And you know what? I love tools. I love to use tools. I don't like to talk about tools. So nothing against CP. I have nothing against anybody that talks about tools on YouTube or Instagram or anything. I show you guys tools all the time. I make tool videos, but I like to talk about cars. I like to talk about things like that. So I don't know. That's just what I like. I don't think he's too much into what I have to say, anyways. So I brought some tools home. Yeah, some tools. I got to make a video. Got the back probe pin. I was gonna go on Justin's tonight. I was gonna go, hang out with him tonight, but I don't see him on, so I don't know. Yeah, I brought home. What's up, West Main Auto? Thanks for joining the chat. And then I brought this. I talked about this thing in my video. A penetrator. I'm gonna talk about that in the video I got to make about the one and only Power Probe. It is an awesome tool. And I'm going to talk about the first thing my boss said when I very first bought one. Like, I don't know, 15 years ago, it was like Power Probe 1. And it would just go, or like had two different annoying buzzes that it made for power and ground. But anyways, the first thing that my boss said to me when I brought that thing in was, don't let the smoke out of the box. And I had no idea what the hell he was talking about. And I found out that one of the techs there, he did that. And so, so I got a little video just talking about the Power Probe, and I brought some stuff home to show you how to hook it up and some stuff that, maybe some people don't know. Because I know I come across people. It's crazy how I can come across people that don't know things that have been doing this for a really long time. Like they don't know, that certain leads plug into certain multimeters a certain way, or I made a video about the cordless ratchet maintenance. I was down at the end. The guy had been doing this for a really long time. And I mean, his cordless tools were way older than mine. and I hear it, and it's just super loud. His ratchet, and I was like, man, did you grease that thing? He's like, you grease these? He's like, I greased the air ones. I didn't know you had to grease these. I was like, yeah, dude, you got to grease it, man. He went down there, greased that thing. Oh my god, it was like he got a brand new ratchet. So, anyways, yeah, it's crazy how oh, San Leandro. Okay, okay. Hey, CP's not stealing my viewers. He was on already. And all those people they're on there already. But okay, so here I asked this question here. All right, 70 Chevelle, motor and trans, rolled in a truck in Texas. Showed up with a crushed engine. Wow. Yeah, I know, Brent. I just wanted to clear the air because I know that I know every chat where CP was on or someone else, I would catch the tail end of everybody talking about some sort of past drama that happened, and I had no idea what the hell they were talking about. And I don't want any part of it. Like, I do this for fun, not for drama, and I enjoy every bit of it. I got 3 boys, a wife, a house, and a job, and you know, so I don't really have any use for any drama. So I definitely don't want anybody twisting and turning anything. Owner paid me a ton to paint this summer before the engine worked. Uh-oh. Sorry, guys. I thought it was fixed, man. I hope so. All right, waiting for the replacement next week. Then I'll have a full video on the engine project. Nice. Hey, did you ever get that mechanical? Did you ever get that one car done? That that one that you had to I think you were warranting the head. You had to take the head back off to send back to where you got it from. I think that was it. I try to keep it's hard. You know what, man? It's really hard. Up your performance. What's up, brother? It's really hard to I try to keep track. I try to watch videos of everybody. I try to watch a little bit of everything, and trying to keep my own stuff going, and then spend some time with the family and stuff. So uh yeah, heck yeah. Uh yeah, if you want to send me your email, Wes Main Auto. I don't know if do you follow me on Instagram? If so, you can send me a message on there. Yeah, I don't know. I talked to him this morning. Actually, I talked to him last night. He called me last night at like 9 something. We talked for a while. And then I was like we were in the middle of a conversation. I was like, dude, I gotta go. I gotta go kiss my kids tonight. They're up in bed waiting for me. But yeah, we talked for almost an hour last night. I chit chatted him this morning a little bit on text. Said I'd see him tonight. I saw a car that had airbags blowing off from a Power Pro. Absolutely, man. Damn, I'm up again. Oh, there we go. You know what? There's nothing wrong with using Power Pro. If you, man, this is a bummer, huh? I'm sorry, guys. I mean, isn't a Power Probe going to do the same thing as a test light? If you hook a test light up and you're applying power with the test light, isn't that going to do the same thing? I don't know. I rarely use a test light. Um, very rarely. West Main Auto. If you shoot me a, unless I missed it, maybe you did, maybe you didn't. I know, man. I'm sorry, guys. It was good the other night. Oh, you were banned from Instagram. That's a bummer. Shoot me your email, West Main Auto, or Let's see. Okay. Give me 1 second. Let me catch up here. I dropped the ball on that. They stated they would send me a new long block. Oh, okay, okay. Gotcha. All right. I just thought about that. I was like, wait a minute, Juan Prats, what's happening, man? Am I still frozen? Should I try to switch to a going right 1 second here? I'm gonna let's see. Sorry guys, give me 1 second. I'm trying to compose. Oh my god. I'm like, what in the world? Am I still frozen? Is it working? Oh, I got to do it on here. Okay, hang on. I got to invite someone. Give me 1 second while I figure this out. Uh, invite. I'm new to adding people on during a thing here. Let me get this mail here, guys. I'm sorry. Give me 1 second. I've only had one person on before, and I got on with that person before we started Davion. All right, all right. I'm gonna hang on 1 second. I'm gonna send a mail really quick. Look, I sent you an email, so that should be coming through. I'm still learning how to do all this. Oh man, Bill Beckett, I love using the Power Pro. Windows really good if you have to or it's really good if you have to put a window up so you can like still glitching out, man. Yeah, I may have to try to switch to a man, you know what? Mechanical triage, man, do the best I can, man. It is hard, and and honestly, like I try to follow. I mean, I try to follow. Who keeps me interested. It's like I really. I don't. Let me see. Oh, okay, I can see myself. Okay. Um, yeah. Nobody's on the internet. I can see it. It's like, should I switch to? I don't know if I should try my mobile hotspot or not. I don't know. Does that work sometime? Man, this sucks. What in the world is going on here, man? I hate this. I'm so bummed. You know what? I'm going to run upstairs. All right. Let me get set up upstairs. I'm going upstairs. There's like no internet in the garage. All right. Oh, looks like West Main Auto is on deck, guys. Taking you on a weird tour through my house. Kind of weird, kind of fast. Give me 1 second. Let me move my wife's computer. All right, I'm coming to the scrapbook corner. My wife has good internet. So let me close the door. Hang on 1 second. All right, here we go. We got a window open, get some fresh air in here. All right, okay, we got West Main Auto. How you guys like to chat here? Uh-oh. All right. Guys.
What's going on, man?
What's happening, man? I think I got some good internet now. I think we good.
Perfect. Yeah,
I'm in my wife's scrapbook corner here.
Yeah, I actually saw you were talking about the Power Pro, so I ran out to the work van and grabbed mine.
Which one is that one? A 3?
This is the 3.
Okay, yeah.
Let me figure out where I'm getting to here. Gotta get this camera adjusted. Jeez,
that one's
all out of wax.
Weird. That one's weird looking. Let me see it.
This is.
Oh my god.
This was the updated version of the 3.
Oh my god, that is weird looking. I don't think I've ever seen one like that.
I actually like it a lot because the screen is slightly inverted. So if you look at the Power Pro 4, it's actually inverted as well. This is called. This is technically like I think the 3A. So this was the update before they came out with the Power Pro 4. And I noticed some questions in the chat. I do a ton of diagnostic work, especially when I had my shop and my employees working for me and everything like that. I do a ton of diagnostic work. And one of the great things about the Power Pro is obviously you can hook it up to the battery. One of the things that I tend to use this for the most, and I saw some questions about this, the biggest issue I see with diagnostic work when we have like a plenty of power, no start condition is start. And everybody's sitting here thinking, okay, well, check the power, sometimes coming straight from the battery or right off the alternator, things like that, or we want to check grounds and stuff like that. Well, with the Power Pro, one of the things I love to check first is the signal wire. Are we getting signal to the starter? So many people want to start with like relays, fuses, ignition switches. I say, let's get right to the beans and potatoes of it.
Yeah.
I love to hook. What I love to do is take the actual battery hookups here. I'll hook one to a chassis ground, and I'll actually hook the positive up to the signal wire. And you can do it that way as well. On certain vehicles, it won't power up the Power Pro. But if you leave it connected to the battery on some of the others, you can ground this clip and touch this. If I have the extension as well, where you can run a wire out from it, but you can touch this and right to the signal wire while somebody cranks it. Or if you have the extension, you can crank it yourself and see if you're getting the voltage required from the signal wire. So I use these for no starter diagnostics a lot.
I do too.
It's a fantastic tool. I mean,
you know where that will bite you in the ass is going to, and this happened to me twice, is when you hook up to a battery on a chassis grounded vehicle where the battery is not directly connected to the engine. So you take a Cadillac. Right. I had a Cadillac one time that, man, it was the weirdest thing. It actually had the front ground cable in the very front was broken. And it would make contact and then not make contact. And so sometimes it would start, sometimes it wouldn't. But I got messed up on it because I went to the battery and checked it from the battery. And the engine didn't have any ground. And so I wasted a lot of time testing that thing.
Yep.
Because I wasn't hooked up to chassis ground, I was hooked up to the battery. And the engine didn't have any ground. Only had minor ground, like very minute, but not enough. It had enough to show power, but when you went to test anything, obviously you have no amperage can pass through anything.
Right.
So yeah, it was that one bit me in the ass, and it was a surprise for me.
That's one of the things that I've learned over the years. Whenever I was a mechanic in the Army, one of the things we would always check. In fact, one of my staff sergeants actually taught me this trick. He said, whenever you're hooking up or testing certain circuits, you always want to first test the batteries, because we run a lot of 24 volt systems in the military, and we would always check, from one battery to the other. And he said, okay, now find you a ground bolt somewhere on the chassis and see if you're still grounding out. Okay, well, that's fine. Now we're going to run a continuity test on it. And a lot of times you'd come back and continuity wouldn't be there. So you're not having continuity between the battery positive and the chassis ground.
Right.
So you can ground a good connection to the chassis from the battery, but can you ground a good connection from a power supply mounted on the block, like say the starter, to the chassis? Is there some kind of break in there as well? So there's tons of diagnostic routes you can go, but the Power Probe, it does it all. And this one, what I really like about this one is it also does AC as well, so alternating current. So we can figure out, we can diagnose possible shorts through alternators. We can actually run this on mobile generators as well, which I tend to see a lot of around here right now. Actually, up here in Nashville, where I'm at. With this winter storm that hit last week, we had a lot of generators go down, and I don't know why, but people are calling mobile mechanics. And I'm actually hopefully getting a shop next week. So,
nice.
Yeah, so I'm super excited about that.
I want to address something. So, Bill, I'm actually making a tutorial on the Power Probe, and the TTS video is going to be coming out pretty soon. And we're all doing an electrical tester of some sort. Somebody is testing a certain multimeter. We have everybody showing you all kinds of different electrical testing tools, and I'll be doing the Power Probe. I'll show some leads. I'll talk about it, and then we're talking about it right now. The other thing that what's your first name?
Me?
Yeah,
John.
John. Okay, hey John. It's easier than calling you like Wes Maynado. So one of the things that I like is if you're by yourself, like, sometimes if you have a neighbor, right, you're just going to check for power to the starter and you can't get to it, or you can't be at the Power Probe and the key. If somebody, hey, crank that real quick. Okay, cool. 12 volts. We're good. But if you can't do that and you're by yourself and it's in a spot where you can't see it, what I like about the Power Probe is that you can hold the button down and you can go to highest power or lowest. And so I'll go to the highest and then you crank because see a Power Probe. So for you guys listening, a Power Probe is a little bit different. Using a Power Probe is like trying to scope a fuel level sender on a multimeter. You're not going to catch the proper voltage all the time. If you're looking for a signal to come through, like you crank the key, power is applied. You're not going to get the true power reading on a normal Power Probe screen. What you're going to get though is you can hold down and go to the high, and then you crank it one time, and it will show you 12.4. You hit the button to clear it, you crank it again, 11.96. Hit the button, crank it again, 12.3. So you're getting 12 volts to the starter every single time. And around there, it's not always going to be exact, but you're getting the voltage, and that is actually going to capture the highest instead of using a scope. You know what I forgot to bring home that I should have talked about is, so back in the day when I first started, and you have a couple different sets of leads, right? You're trying to connect them. You need to make, like, let's say you need to make like a 6-foot connection. And so the only way that you can make that connection is you take your test lead and you stick it in the banana clip end of the other lead, right? And so it works, but it's not great. Like if you're testing computer controlled components, it's not a great test at all. But if you're looking for a starter signal, it's going to work. But so I found a set of leads. I always wanted a connectable set of leads. And I found a set of leads that it came with a set of leads, and it came with a pass-through where you could hook 2 leads together. And it's an actual true multimeter connection. And so you're not losing any voltage. It's actually an exact connection between. So if I ever have to do that, technically, if it really needed to, I could take, 4 different sets of leads and connect them all together. So anyways, that's a really good thing. I should have brought that home. But I was going to talk about the power probe. And most importantly, I wanted to bring up letting the smoke out of the box. That was one of the things in the video I was going to talk about is, making sure that you know what the hell you're doing before you start applying power. You should not be applying power and ground until you know 100% for certain what you're applying it to and what circuit you're applying it to. So
because I've seen junior techs. They are working on, for example, say an electronic throttle body, just different sensors. Like you have those cam phaser sensors on some of the Chevy Cavaliers and stuff Cobalts, things like that. Those work off of a 5-volt reference. You do not want to apply 12 volts to those circuits at all. Cool. And I have seen techs just ram a power probe in there and just stick it in there and just nail on that positive button. And I'm like, well, got to replace the sensor now because sure, it may still work, but you just applied 12 volts to a 5-volt, reference wire. There's no telling what has happened internally, even if it seems like it's still working. It has to be changed now because you just screwed it, and we have to eat the cost. And me being a business owner, I have 2 techs that work for me right now, and I school them on this, and I try my best to do all the diagnostics myself. But being a mobile-based company at the moment, it's hard, especially when you have a call 30 minutes to the west, and then the other one is 15 minutes to the east. It's a 45-minute gap, and then potentially I'm handling one myself, so I have to train my guys. And one thing I actually do not let my guys use is a power probe, because it is a great tool, but you can cause a lot of damage with it.
It's dangerous, yeah. And I mean, you said the most minute thing is a cam phaser. That's the most minute thing. I mean, a computer. I mean, that's that is the most the most fried component right there. People are putting power
so
and
easy.
Yep, and it's gone. I will admit, I've had probably 2 times where I accidentally put power to the wrong circuit. I had one. It was like a early 90s Honda. I was doing an emissions diagnosis and I was testing EGR, and I was trying to power up the EGR, and I accidentally looked at the wires wrong. It's an early 90s Honda, so the wiring isn't great, and so I hit the wrong wire, and for a minute I thought that I smoked the computer, and then thank God I hit a fuse circuit, because I just popped the fuse, and I went and put the fuse. I replaced the fuse, and I smacked my power probe, and I told him it was a bad boy, and I looked up at the sky. I said, "Thank you. I'm so happy that I didn't fry a computer."
and one of the things a lot of people don't realize about the power probe lineup is it's literally the Milwaukee M12 with the Milwaukee M18 of electrical diagnostics, because you can get, for example, like the ECT 3000 or 2000, whichever one it is, and I mean, the same connections work. You can buy all the components for the power probe and use it on the ECT, which is going to help you find shorts in an electrical system, things like that. Have you ever dealt with the ECT or used it, heard of it?
No.
Okay, so the ECT I think it's the 3000 ECT 3000. I think I may be wrong on that. If somebody's in the chat, let me know. So what it is basically is you were hooking kind of like I guess like hooking the power probe up to the battery, but what you're doing is actually hooking it up to the ground wire and the hot wire of a certain circuit. And it has a little box that comes with it. And what it does is you can run this box. Once you hook those connections up to the circuit, you can run the box down the line. And then when you find your short, the box will tell you short.
I have a
power right where it is.
I have a power probe one.
That's the one. It's the little red box.
Yeah. I thought you were talking about a different brand. I have the older one, so mine's probably like whatever because there's a newer one and it looks different than what I have. I've had mine for a long time. And you know what? I only used it. It's only helped me one time. But when I needed it, we had replaced a Spider fuel injector assembly in a van. And then like maybe a few weeks later, it came in as a no start and had a fuse. I mean, a hot short. I mean, it was just fuse would blow. I mean, it would like spark the minute you replaced it. And I was able to actually, I will say I've used it quite a few times. Running the box up and down the wire, that doesn't always work.
Right.
But on this one, it worked enough to narrow it down to I had a shorted wire inside of the plenum that somehow the Spider assembly shorted. And then I had to replace it. But anyways, it works because you can plug it, you take the fuse out, and you just put the spade terminal right into the hot side of the fuse, and it'll say open or short. And that's what on that one it was like just straight up, it was shorted, and so that helped me out there.
Yeah, and another thing is too, a lot of people when it comes to diagnostics, especially tracking down shorts, I've noticed some of my one of my newer guys. He's a fairly experienced tech, but when it comes down to electrical wires, he's quick to say, "Hey, I found the short right here. We have a wire broken." He fixes it, cranks it, and ships it. And I'm sitting here saying, "No. You need to pull all the lane off because if it got hot here, it could have gotten hot somewhere else." And that is one big mistake I see a lot of new techs make. They'll find the one short, they'll quickly fix it. The big head about them saying, "Hey, I got it. I fixed the problem. I heat shrinked it. I separated the wires. I recoated it, everything like that." But did you check the rest of the wire? Because if it got here, if for example, if it got hot in the middle of the wire,
right,
where else did it get hot? Because I mean, obviously it had to start somewhere, and it's not just that one spot. That wire got hot enough to melt those two pieces together. So where is it? Is it grounding to the frame? Is it grounding to another wire? You need to check that entire circuit now, and you also need to check and pull those ECM connectors as well, and check those. Make sure those didn't get hot, because over time that could allow moisture in, and then you have a wrecked DC.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's I had and what's funny is when you have something that happens to wire, it generally is going to happen throughout the wire, and not even just a short. Like I had a BMW mid 2000s come in, and one headlight worked and the other one didn't. I had to swap bulbs and everything. So I take the cap off and I find the wire's broken right at the connector. As soon as I take the cap off, I'm like, okay. And so I'm like, all right, well, I could try to repair it, but the true repair is to replace the headlamp assembly.
Right.
Well, what the service writer sold. They sold the repair. Okay. Pulled the connector off, took the headlamp assembly out, pulled the connector off, repaired it the best I could, taped up as much of the wire as I could, and then taped up the other side at the connector. I just ran some electrical tape to keep it from shorting to each other. And then it came back and it had so initially it was like the left headlight worked and the right one didn't, or something like that. And then it came back and it was the opposite, because now the other headlight assembly, the wire broke. And then you could see the wire all along the wire. It was like break. I was like, like, hey guys, I told you to replace it last time. You didn't want to replace it. Now we need to replace the headlamp assemblies because it's the wiring inside the assemblies. And so it's very true about what happens in the wire. I'm gonna catch up on this chat really quick. Give me 1 second here.
Yeah, Bill Beckett actually just posted something that was kind of interesting.
Yeah, hang on, I'm just scrolling down 1 second. All right, ETR is putting a new ignition in his dad's S&S Evo 80 right now.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, no worries. Anthony Robles. So, you have a Power Probe 3 and you've never upgraded. I'm actually going to talk about that. In my video, I will talk about that. Bill, I'm going to actually hopefully I didn't lose you guys that made comments. So Anthony, I'm going to talk about that in the video. I'll talk about it a little bit when he gets back. Yeah, and then I'll do a little tutorial on the Power Probe. CDM, hello from California. I hope I didn't miss you. I hope I didn't lose you. Yeah, I've only popped a couple fuses, man. That's honest to God. 805, I love it, man. I drink the Coors Light because it's cheaper, and I can't afford to drink the 805 all the time. But man, you know what? It's just sometimes you just need some 805.
Sorry about that. I'm back.
Oh, no worries. Let's see. You know what? A short finder is one of those things that you're not always going to use it, and you may not use it for a very long time. I actually haven't used my short finder in a really long time. Here's a tech tip for you. Take the batteries out of the module, because you have one you plug into the car and one you have for finding the shorts. Take the batteries out because they're going to corrode because you're not going to use them for a long time. And you wonder how I know that. Exactly. Take them out because then you're trying to fix the corrosion in your short finder. There's a tone generator and a receiver tool. One tool sends out a tone and the receiver picks up the sound. I've heard about those. I wonder how those work. I've heard about those for a long time. Have you ever tried those?
I have one, and that was actually the comment that Bill posted. I have one. I do not care for it, and here is why. So what happens is you have basically automotive wiring. An example, it's fairly thin coated. So when you have a bunch of wires running next to each other, those tones can actually intermix between the other wires. And I've noticed I will pick up tones even if you have the short here and my tone is starting to beep and drop off, and then it picks up suddenly, but then it'll drop off again. I've noticed that in an automotive platform that they are not the best to go with. They tend to transfer between the coating of the wires, and I've had where I've ran the tone pickup where it'll scream at all the way down the vehicle, and I've had better luck with the Power Probe ECT and finding shorts. I think the tone one was more of a pain in the butt. I mean, technology does advance. I've had it for probably 5 years now, so I mean, there could be better ones out there, ones that isolate it to that specific wire, but my experience with it, I don't particularly care for those.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't think it was going to be a super great one. I never tried it. Like I said, I have the Power Probe one. It works. Let's see. Like the Power Probe, the tool set an electronic charge to the wire. Big Puppy Tools. Hey, what's happening? Thanks for joining the live stream here. The last minute live stream on a Friday. Talk about cars. That's what I like to talk about. I know I said that earlier. If you just joined in, let's see. He's had 2 GMs with wrong underhood fuse boxes with pins missing for a single circuit, causing open circuits. Wow, that's interesting. Thanks for joining, Matt. Okay, the tool is designed for the telecom industry. There you go. That makes sense.
Yeah,
a lot more isolated wires and things like that.
Yeah, because it actually does have a spot on it where you plug in like a phone jack to it.
Oh, there you go.
Okay,
Okay, so Jay Barton, thanks for joining the live stream here. And yes, I can definitely see how the signal would bleed into the harness.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I wanted to talk about was, and Anthony said this earlier, I don't know if Anthony's still in here. So I actually had the Power Probe. I'm pretty sure I had the one, and I don't remember what the 2 was, if there was one. But I had, the first one. I actually still have it in the garage because I just go, it's just to check something. Like, actually, I should probably throw it away because it really sucks. Anyways, and it's annoying as crap. And back in the day, that was the one where if you left that thing plugged in and you walked away from the car for a minute, somebody would come and unplug it because it was so damn annoying that you didn't want that thing buzzing. But anyways, and then the Power Probe 3 came out. I got the 3 because I wanted to cut out the middleman, right? So you have a no start, and you're like, cool, it's a GM. So you go right in the middle of the wiring harness. You pull the wires out. You find the gray wire and the black wire. I got power. I got ground. Okay, crap. Now I got to get my multimeter out. See if I actually really have 12 volts. Hook it up. Okay, I have 12 volts. Okay, it's got a bad fuel pump. But so then the Power Probe 3 came out, and I was like, great. I have power and I have 12 volts at the same time. Cut out the middleman. Not something you're going to use on computer-controlled circuits, but for a fuel pump and starter and things like that. And I'll say this lightheartedly. For the technicians that know what they're doing, it works good. A technician that's new should be using a multimeter because you don't know enough about it, and you don't know because every car that you walk up to, you don't walk up to it with blinders on and go, I don't know anything about this kind of car ever. I'm just going to test this blind. You have experience with this car. Maybe this car, you had 27 fuel pumps in this car. Or, this is a car that has a lot of bad starters. You kind of already know, and you know the direction you go. When we're experienced and seasoned, we know when we walk up to a car and you're like, okay, what's the complaint? Okay, I already know what direction I'm going, with the car. Does it always work? No, but most of the time. Most of the time when we walk up to a car, we can pretty much have an idea of where we're going and how to test it. Am I right? Do you feel the same way?
You're 100% right. And in fact, I think using a multimeter and, just a simple test line, I think every new technician should start with, I believe, and wholeheartedly, because it's like, people learning to drive an automatic versus people learning to drive with a manual transmission. It is the manual transmission of the technician world for electrical diagnostics. I think every technician should have to learn and have to start out with just a simple multimeter. Doesn't have to be anything expensive or out of this realm, price wise, and just a simple multimeter and a test light. Because when it comes to the end of the day, a power probe, for example, is not going to work on a classic car. So if one pulls into the shop, it's just not going to work. So I think that every technician should have to start with a multimeter and a test light and get accustomed to them, because there are going to be situations where a power probe is not going to be the proper tool to use. Now, I have not really ran into a situation like that recently that I can recall. I work on so many different makes and models. Being an independent, business owner, I don't work on any specific models, so it's hard to remember what I run into day in, day out. Right. But I can say I think every technician should have to learn, testing ohms, amperage, putting an amp clamp on things, checking, for sine waves, things like that. I think they should all start out with that. Voltage drop. Voltage drop, 100%.
Voltage drop.
So I think that is something every tech should learn to drive a manual transmission vehicle before they get into an automatic. I just think it's completely necessary. And I think the same goes with diagnostic tools. I don't think a shop should just give a brand new tech right off the back a Snap-on scanner. I think every new tech should be challenged. Give them just a basic little plug-in handheld thing and say, figure it out. Give them that experience. That problem-solving experience is what really pays off as a tech, because you could be given a power probe or a Snap-on scanner and just pull this and that up. But at the end of the day, you have no problem-solving experience. And when you run into that major problem, you're screwed.
Yeah, and you know what's crazy is and this comes with experience, right? So as we've been doing this for a long time, we step back from the car, and as we walk up to the car, a new guy is going to be like, oh, it's a check engine light. I'm looking for check engine light. And, you and I, we walk up to a car and our eyes are open way out here, and we're looking at the whole car. And so I know Dad's live. I know. Sorry, buddy. I know. I'm in the kids. Okay. I'm in the kids. I'm in their living room, basically. And he's about to have a sleepover. So anyway, I have a tech who he's a new guy, He hasn't been doing it super long. He's, he does pretty good at R&R. He can do some diagnostics, but he doesn't know a ton.
Right.
And I'm new at the shop, and he's my neighbor. And so he has this car. It's a Nissan Maxima. It's a 2000 Maxima. So it's been in here. This is the third time now. And the first time he had a bunch of coolant issues with it. The gauge wasn't working. And anyways, so they're working on it, and it comes back like 2 or 3 times for stalling, intermittent stalling. And he looks at it, he drives it, he looks at it, he scans until he's blue in the face, and he can't figure it out, and they always ship it. And so it comes back for, I think, the third time the other day. And I'm like, you know what? I don't want to work on this Audi right now. So I'm going to choose to walk away, and I'm going to help you. And so I walk up to the car, and this is no kidding. Now, this car's been here 3 times. He's probably driven this car like 50 miles, spent hours on this car. I walk up to the car, and I get in, and I turn the key, and nothing happens except for all the lights on the dash light up. And then I do it again, and there's no starter operation at all. And I look over, and he goes, "Oh, you have to wiggle the key." And I was like, "There's a stalling issue right there. It's got a bad ignition switch." Right. And then the lack of experience, which was good because I was able to teach him. The lack of experience, he's like, "Well, how would an ignition switch cause a stalling?" I was like, "Well, when you turn the key off, doesn't that take power away from the vehicle?" He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "That's how the car shuts off." Well, if you have a bad ignition switch, then you can lose power to the entire vehicle and the car can stall. Hence Hondas, right? How many Hondas have you seen with bad ignition switches with the same exact situation? But so anyways, and he's like, "Well," so we sat there and we tried to duplicate the stall. We couldn't do it. And finally I was like, look, man, you have a bad ignition switch. An ignition switch can cause stalling. We need to replace the ignition switch and then recheck. And if they don't want to replace the ignition switch, that's fine. And they'll take it somewhere else and they can go beat up somebody else because the ignition switch is most likely going to fix it. And they have to fix it because that is a cause of stalling. And you can't sit there and dance around a problem, right? You can't have a car that has low fuel pressure and an intermittent stalling and be like, "Well, we know it needs a fuel pump. Well, let's try to figure out the stalling." No, you're going to address the fuel pump, So anyways, we replaced the fuel pump and the car left. And I highly doubt it'll return for any stalling issues.
Right.
But my point was, I walked up to the car, and just by turning the key, my broadened horizons made the light bulb go off. As younger techs, they don't know that. And I've never seen that on a Maxima. But they don't have that yet. And that's why the multimeter and all these other things are so important, because you get blinded by just what's right in front of you.
Yeah.
So
now, see, my more experienced guy, if he comes to me with an issue, I'll be just upfront with him. "Hey, you're screwing up. Look, it's right in front of you. Here's the issue right here." But with the new guy that I have, I will, even though I can say for 100% fact, I know what the issue is, I will make him test every circuit that could be responsible for the issue the customer brought in to be diagnosed or called in, whatever the case may be. I just tell him, I say, check everything. Okay, do we have a 5-volt reference? Do we have 12 volts here? Well, why are we having 12 volts at the battery, but we're getting 12, or say we have 12 and a half at the battery. Why are we getting 12 here? What's happening? Why are we on a positive wire here and we're getting a ground signal on the power probe? Something isn't right. There's a wire shortage. I make them, even though I could spit it out and just tell them exactly what it is, I always say, let's run through the checks. Let's run through the balances. Let's diagnose this. And that way it gets him kind of in that state of mind to say, well, it could be this. Like, just for example, I've seen new techs come into a shop and they could pull up an O2 sensor code. It says O2 sensor bank 1, sensor 1, lean, or something like that. And they're like, "Oh, it's O2 sensor." No, that's the O2 sensor saying something else is wrong. Something else ain't going right. 9 times out of 10, it's a mass airflow.
Isn't an O2 sensor an input? Was that me or him that dropped? Can you guys hear me? Oh, that's me, because I can see him talking.
Okay, that's both of us.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
we're back now. But yeah, I mean, I just love to see. It's like the first thing they read is like the first line. I'm like, no, stop, take your time, read the entire thing. Okay, you're getting a lean code, you're getting a rich code. Something else is going on. It's not the O2 sensor. The O2 sensor is telling you that something else is wrong. And mass airflow sensors, 9 times out of 10, if they're bad, they're not going to say that they're bad. They're just reading incorrectly. And it trips the O2 sensor. And I see most of the time it's a mass airflow sensor when the O2 sensor is saying, lean code this, especially when you're getting like a bank 1 and bank 2 O2 sensor that are both saying lean, rich, rich condition, whatever the case may be. And these guys are so quick just to say, oh, it's an O2 sensor code. We need to change the O2 sensor. No, you need to diagnose the damn problem.
Another important thing that people don't look at, and it's super important, is freeze frame, right? So how many times, and this is actually a Ford thing. This happens on Fords. They'll have a car come in, and it'll be like bank 1 lean, only bank 1, and so people go, well, oh my God, bank 1 it's got a problem. Must have a vacuum leak on bank 1 or bad injectors or whatever, right? And I'm like, okay, well, what's the freeze frame? Oh, well, then look at the freeze frame. Well, why not? Go look at the freeze frame. Oh, bank 1 is at 30% fuel trim, and bank 2 is at 29. Or I know that's not the right number. I think it's 25. But anyways, it's like 1% off from setting a code. And I'm like, it's the whole engine. You just didn't look at the freeze frame to see that both banks have a problem, not just one. When I was the foreman, I used to tell the guys, hey, when you have a car that comes in, I want to see a couple freeze frame PIDs in the notes always. I want to know what the temperature was. Is it at idle or not? Because those are super important. If you have lean codes, well, I mean, it's a big difference between 800 RPMs and 2,800 RPMs or 4,000. It's a big difference because at 800, you got a vacuum leak most likely. 2,800, big difference. So, anyways, that's fuel trims are super, super missed by a lot of guys. Yeah. People don't know to look at.
And I see a lot of techs making that big mistake too. One thing is, okay, a customer comes in with a complaint. They're running rough. They got a funny smell coming out of their vehicle. The first thing that I see a lot of new techs look at when they know about fuel trims is they look at the long-term fuel trims, which is not a bad thing to look at.
Right.
But what I like to do is reset the data and take it out on a drive, put the tablet and record it.
Right.
And just look at that data. I want to see the short term. What is the short term doing? Okay, short term. I want to look at it in park. I want to look at it in drive. What's it doing? I want to take it out and put it under load and take it for a ride. I want to see that data and I want to record it and I want to watch it. And that's the thing. I think short term fuel trims give more insight as to what's going on right then and there in the engine.
It's now.
And because you can see like long-term fuel trims like 29.83. Okay, yeah, something is going on, or negative 31 or something. Okay, something is out of whack here. That's a long-term. This has happened over a time period.
Exactly.
I want to see short-term. I want to see these fuel trims because normally, anything over 10 or negative 10 in a lot of vehicles will start to throw a code. And things like that. You want to pay attention to fuel trims, and it's a short term you want to look at. I see a lot of these new techs looking at long term. Okay, yeah, there's a problem, but where does this problem exist? Where do you think it's originating from? You in the negatives, you in the positives? What are you thinking? What's going through your mind? And it's all down to that air fuel ratio as to what controls those, fuel trims. And of course, you could think of other things like spark, but usually a lot of the time you're not having a major spark issue with burning fuel. Most of the people that are coming into the shop, at least from my experience, keep up to date with their maintenance. And
unless you have a vehicle that's fouling out, like if you have bad valves, bad valve guides, valve seals, and, your plugs are going to foul out from burning oil. The other thing is, and when we talk about fuel trims is, I'll see a guy and he'll be over there power braking the car in the stall, power braking it. And I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, oh, it has a misfire. I'm like, okay, well, when did the code set? I don't know. a misfire. Well, if it happened at idle, you're power braking the car, you're not going to see anything, so it's trying to teach people. I like to teach people, especially like the guy next to me, he hasn't went to school. What's up, Dave? Let me check on these comments really quick. I don't want to get
man, we got one mechanic in here.
Dave's in here. Uncle Dave. He's in our TTS group. He actually did a video on a really cool, you probably have seen this, a little test light that you're the ground. And all you do is you touch something, and when you touch ground, it buzzes and lights up. It's Snap-on.
I actually have not seen that. I would actually appreciate if somebody would throw that in the comments.
We are actually doing a video. Do you know about our TTS group?
I do not. Actually, the first time I ran across you was a couple of weeks ago in Justin Dow's live stream.
Oh, nice. So, Dave, if you're still in here, could you throw a link to our TTS YouTube page? So we started on Instagram. It's, I think, 9 of us total. And there is, I'll get to the comments in just a minute, guys. And there is, we have a young lady who she used to work on diesels. I believe she's in the military. She's really big on Jeeps. Dave, he works on everything from lawnmowers to, he probably works on a gas-powered backpack blower to a giant truck, right? And so he's literally the most versatile person in our group. We have another guy who does he's a fleet heavy duty semi mechanic. We have another guy who works in a dealership as a semi mechanic. Several of us are independent. We have another young lady who works in a dealership, and so we all kind of have like a different perspective and spin on this world. Semis and cars, they're tested the same way. A light duty diesel and a big semi have the same emission components and things like that. So we've done a couple videos on that, and we're doing one soon about a bunch of different electrical testers. And Dave's is a really cool one. I have it. It's just he uses it on big trucks like trailers, where he goes all the way to the back of the trailer, and you can tell right there, is the problem there or is it all the way up the front with this tool? I use it if I just want to make sure that there's no alternative battery supply when I disconnect this battery before I go messing around with the starter wire or things like that. You're the ground to it. That's all you are. Your hand. Your other hand is the ground.
You should throw me in on that group. You should throw me in on here, because that would be fantastic. I have a lot of diagnostic experience between 8 years in the military, 2 combat deployments, working on not only U.S. American military vehicles, but also foreign. I've worked on a lot of Canadian military vehicles. I've worked on European. I've also worked on, Iraqi, Afghan National Police vehicles. I have a huge broad spectrum, and it's crazy actually at how different countries have things wired. Like, you think like a 12-volt battery here is normal at 24-volt. They have crazy things like 16-volt vehicle batteries.
Holy crap.
In other nations. And it's crazy. And it's a completely different diagnostic world when you get into it. And we were working alongside like Northrop Grumman, AECOM, different government contractors. And I was learning a lot of this stuff. So it's actually really, really neat.
Nice. Well, send a message to me on here. Let me get to these comments really quick here. All right.
Yeah, get at it.
Anthony Robles is doing a VW diesel job. So what is it? Is it like a Jetta? Is it just like a little TDI? I'm gonna try and get my bobber rolling again. Let's see. There's Dave. We got Bill. I had to use a multimeter on my gas-fired hot water heater this week. Hey man, multimeters work. I had to use it on my dryer to see if it had a bad what you call it? I forgot what it's called. With all the coils. Damn it. Kind of pisses me off because we took it apart and I found that it had what's the damn heater called? Oh my God. I don't work on appliances, but anyways, it has a heater. It's a heater coil in there. That's what heats the air. Anyways, it has a whole bunch of coils.
It's like an A coil.
Yeah, but it was bad. And so we were like, our dryer's not that old. So I replaced it. And then it went out like a year later again. I was like, damn it. So then we had to get on. But anyways, although it does not use any electricity per se, I needed to check the ohms. Oh, there you go. See? Ohms, man. Ohms work. And that's smart right there. You know how a lot of people couldn't do that. Bill. So I congratulate you there. A lot of people couldn't figure that out. Believe it or not,
Oh,
there is a lot of and you said you're not on Instagram?
no, I got banned.
Okay.
I'm actually trying to get back on now.
Right, well, Dave sent a link to our YouTube. So if you want to click on that before it goes away, that is a link to our YouTube page. We already did a couple videos. We did like an intro video where we all did an intro about ourselves.
Right.
And then we did one with we've had a couple now with with a guest, like a outside person talking about their world and how it applies to our world. And so let me see here. Nuts and bolts. Great about TTS is a massive diversity between the techs. There's a ton of different techs and mechanics. Absolutely. I love it, Anthony. It's awesome.
Hey, I got the link saved.
All right. So Jay Barton says, thank you for your service and all other vets in here. Yes. And you know what? Thank you guys for everyone that's joined the chat and dealt with my stupid connection issues. I'm super mad. I guess I'm calling T-Mobile tomorrow. Again. Well, I do my live stream in the garage because it's right by the beer fridge. It's away from the kids. I'm a loud person if I whisper, and so if I talk in the house, it's super loud, and I have a 2-story house, and it just resonates through the house. And anyways, I would create a mobile hotspot in the garage, and I have perfect data in the garage, but for some reason, my mobile hotspot wouldn't work. It would be cutting in and out.
It's like they're slowing your connection down or something like that.
Yeah, it's weird. And so and they were asking me if I tried it anywhere else. I'm like, I don't know. He's in Tennessee, Dave. Dave asked what state you were in. And so they were like, okay. So anyway, so the guy that got on from T-Mobile, he's like, well, can you go live right now? And I was like, sure. So I go out to the garage. My wife's in the house. She's watching it. She's like, yeah, you're glitchy. So the guy was like, well, what's your YouTube channel? So he went to my YouTube channel and watched it and was like, oh, yeah, okay, wow, I see that. All right, well, we're going to try so he sent me a Wi-Fi booster, and I hooked it up in the house. And I'm not very far from the booster. I'm not even very far from my Wi-Fi gateway. And then, I used it I go live every Wednesday at 6:30. I try to go for an hour and a half. I went for 2 hours this last Tuesday Wednesday because we were just really chatting it up, and it worked fine. In the beginning, it cut out a little bit, and then it was fine after that. And so, but then tonight it was not good. So Big Puppy is in Australia. Here I missed some. Okay, I'm gonna go back up really quick because I missed some. Oh my god, I missed a whole bunch of chat.
Yeah.
Holy cow! Oh man, what happened here? I was scrolling and.
How long are you going to be on for?
I don't know, a little bit, maybe an hour, another hour.
Okay, give me like a 15-minute break real quick. I promised somebody I would jump on over. I'm just gonna have a quick chat real quick.
Yeah, no worries.
And then I'll jump right back over. I'll leave this broadcast studio up. If you just want to take my video down real quick, I got to jump over to one other real quick, and I'll be right back.
All right, no worries.
Cool, thanks, man.
Uh-huh. All right, let me scroll back through here. All right. Sorry guys if it's getting a little crazy here. All right. Now's the time to get ready for summer. All right, how bad is the lockdown? The lockdown's not bad. I just heard from Justin. He just got home. He was running late. He'll be starting his stream soon. Okay. All right. Thank you. What's up? What's up, Davion? What's up, brother? Man, you know what? I don't know if you're still in here, Davion. I missed your comment earlier, but that ass kicking was bad. That stupid ass Audi. I'm so done with that damn thing. But I got a nice text from my manager telling me thank you for sticking with it. He appreciates me. Staying positive and for just staying focused to get it done because I can't work on anything else. I have a Duramax that has a bunch of coolant hoses that I can't touch until I finish this stupid thing. So, anyways, so I think I caught back up here. All right. So yes, massive here. Oh, thanks, Dave. Man, I hop on. I don't remember if you've hopped on a Wednesday, but man, hop on if you're around, Dave. I know you're always working, so um, I don't know how many are still on. I was hoping to catch Justin tonight, but I don't know what happened. I guess he's running late. Is anybody still on right now? Is my connection okay? I'm gonna text him right now. All right. So all right. So I think I caught up on the comments. I don't know if oh private chat. What is that? Oh, okay. All right. Hang on. All right. That was before. Okay. All right. Oh, thanks, Blue Gloves. All right, cool. So and then there's Dave. All right, cool. So yeah, so thanks for joining the chat tonight, guys. It's been nice talking about cars and other stuff here. Oh, you got a new video, Dave. I'll have to check that out. That just popped up. Jose Lopez, what's up, man? What's happening? How's it going? Oh, Justin's not getting on for a while, guys. So if you were planning on leaving me for Justin, he's not getting on. So I guess I got you. No, I'm just kidding. So, anyways, I guess he had a long day. So, how do you guys stay positive when you have a really crappy job? And I mean, I'm talking about, man, not just an R&R job. I'm talking about a diag job. I'm talking about have a good night, Big Puppy Tools. Thanks for joining. Got dad duties. I know. Uh, how do you guys deal with staying positive when you have a mountain of parts behind you, all around you, or you have a diag that you just can't seem to get a hold of, that you're going around in circles? How do you guys stay positive in that aspect? Because I'll tell you what, man, it's been hard. I go all around. Diagnostic Dennis. That's somebody I should get on my chat sometime. Tone is he's just relaxing in Central Florida. Nice, man. I love Florida, man. I used to live in North Carolina, and I would well, Rouge Dog. You know what? I'm going to roll up another 805 in a minute, but since I'm up in the wife's office, I have to go all the way down to the garage and go in the fridge. I don't even have a little kid up here to go get me beers like last Friday. Last Friday I had one roll in. I'm like, go grab me a couple beers. So relaxing in Central Florida. All right, knowing it'll eventually end. Yeah, we should get on a live stream sometime, Dennis. I love watching your Instagram. If you guys don't follow Diagnostic Dennis on Instagram, you guys should check him out. He has some really cool stuff, and he really knows how to use a Pico scope. I don't have one. Never used one. But anyway, so how do you guys stay positive in that? Because, man, I have had times that I just get in a pissy ass mood and I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't want anybody to talk to me. I don't want to work on the car. I don't want to do anything. I just want to run. I want to run from the vehicle. Man, good night, Bill. Thanks for joining. that is how I felt today going to work. I felt defeated when I was going in today because I have this Audi. If you don't follow me on Instagram, man, I've got this Audi that's just been an ass kicker. And I made some really good progress this afternoon. And it should fire up on earlier on Monday. I'm going to Stephen. So, anyways, think about that. Let me know how you guys deal with that. If you guys have anything you want to say about that, because everybody has been in that in some way or another. Maybe not as bad as I am in the Audi. I've been in some shit storms like I am right now, quite a few times because I always get handed the crap. This one wasn't handed to me as crap, but I'm just saying I've been handed the crap. So let me know how you guys handle that. I'm gonna go grab a beer. I'll be right back. Hopefully I don't lose anybody. Connection is good. Thank you, Matt. All right, hold that thought. I'll be right back. Surprise live streamer with me. Oh, sure. All right, we good. I didn't lose anybody. All right. All right, here we go. I got some beers. We're good to go. I'm saving the other 805s for tomorrow. I stopped at the store and got four tall cans tonight. Had two of them earlier. I'm gonna save the other two for tomorrow night. So I keep getting messed up. So my wife and I, we have very similar laptops. And when I come up to her office, she's got it set up for her laptop. So her plug's already here, and she's got a mouse next to it. And so I walk up, and it's really cool because I can just plug right into her plug. And but I keep grabbing her mouse, and I keep forgetting that my mouse is downstairs. So, anyways, all right, let me check in here and just see where we at. Happy Friday, y'all! Thanks for joining me on the live stream here. Yeah, Bill went to sleep. All right, my connection is good. All right, I don't want to miss the comments. I hate missing comments here. When it's a diag, the worse it is, the better it feels when you solve it. Yes, it is. When it's parts or whatever, it just sucks. Yeah, that's where I'm at right now. Yeah, and that's very true. You know what? Jay Barton has a good point. You know, it is a very good feeling when you diagnose that, when you figure out what's wrong with it. It is really, really a good feeling. And been a long day. Holy crap. And ever since I've been doing this, it's always felt like that. I'll tell you one time it doesn't. Oh my God, look who showed up for the party. grab some suds. There we are. I just got my beers, Justin. Thanks for joining, man. I had to keep everyone entertained because I didn't want to just talk about tools. And that's all it's on right now. So, steak burrito for dinner. Nice. You know what, man? Fridays are my wife cooks every night. She cooks every single night. And so on Fridays, it is just random, maybe some chicken tenders and some fries and just a bunch of appetizers, and that's it. No dinner on Friday. Look forward to 5 o'clock. Is that when you're in the thick of it, Matt? Is that what you're talking about? You just look to getting off? I know. So Justin, I was asking everybody how they feel when you're in just a pile, like I'm in that Audi, and when you're in that and you can't get out from under it, you don't feel like you're making any progress. You have to keep pushing. You have to not look like you're pissed off. You have to not be pissed off, and you have to be pleasant, right? And how do you do that? How do you stay positive? How do you keep a good face on when you just feel like every time you put a part on, 5 more pile on your back? Even though it's not the case, that's how it feels. Anyways, just wondering how any of you go through that, because I'll tell you what, the worst way to feel, I've done, and I've been all over the board with this because I've been down this road a lot. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, let me hang on. I gotta get your email, Justin. Hang on. Hang on. What is your email? Oh, good night, Dave. Thanks for joining, man. Good to see you. Check me out on Wednesday, Dave. 6:30 California time. Hang on. Let me search your email, Justin. Hang on 1 second here. I think I found it. Found it. All right. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm gonna add Mr. Dow to the stream here. All right, that should be coming through, Justin. Let me know if you don't get that. So this will be very interesting to be on this side of the screen with Mr. Justin. I've never been on this side of the screen with him before. We got 13 here. All right. So hopefully he gets this soon, guys. Hope I'm not boring you. All right. So Justin, you should have got it, or you should be getting it. Let me know if there's I think I typed that right. Oh. What's happening, Broski?
That's kind of a first, huh? Hey, look. Cheers. Cheers. Yeah. TGIF.
What are you doing on that side of the screen? That's awfully weird you being over there.
Usually I'm Chatty Cathy on Friday nights.
Hey, man, I was sitting downstairs and I was just trying to hang out with all the fellow techs online waiting for you. And I just, no offense to anybody, but I didn't want to talk about tools anymore. And I just I wanted to get on and talk about cars and just mechanic shit, not tools. So anyway, so here we are.
No worries, man. Yeah, long day, dude. So I started just before 8 o'clock, and it's the end of the month. Okay, so I mean, a lot of shops, to include dealerships, really focused on trying to get as much done end of the month, right?
Well, for your paycheck too.
Yeah, of course. It was a big push, and I was like, I got a little bit hung up on this leveling kit, but I got it all done. Kid was still doing tires, so 5 o'clock came, which was when I was going to end, and he's like, man, it's going to be so sick when you have it all done. And I was like, when did you want to do that? And he's like, we go until 6. And I was like, okay. And so then I got it all done leading up to 6. I was like, okay, cool. Got the battery installed, leveling kit's all done. Kid's doing tires. We're pretty much dead, right? So now I go home, and he goes, no, man, look, I don't know. It's up to you. Hey, look, you've done enough, but if you want to, there's always that, right? We have an alignment on it when the kid's done doing the tires. I'd like you to do the alignment before you leave. And I was like, I thought you said that we were done at 6. He goes, well, technically, sales is open till 7, and I'll pay the overtime. I'll stay. So kid was doing tires. I helped him throw them on. We got on their alignment. Tires are so freaking big, dude. I was like, oh. So, hey, look, camber was good. Casts were good. All I had to do was tow and go. Hey, I'm all about that. All right, cool.
Wow.
So cha-cha-cha. I was like, hey, but no road test. He goes, it's good. That we did our part. We can do the road test Monday, but officially it's done on paper, which means we get paid. And I was like, nice. Oh. So I ended the week with like 62 or 63 for the week. So
nice. Hell yeah.
And I don't have to work tomorrow, so that's kind of nice. So I was like, are we working tomorrow too? And he goes, nope. And I was like, okay, cool.
Well, because you got to stay on the good side, right?
Right.
You don't want to get on the bad side.
But not just that, but I mean, it's almost $50 an hour if it's time and a half. So it's like, who's going to argue with that? I'm not. Right. If they say, hey, you want to come in Saturday? Yup.
Nice, man.
Anyway, yeah. You were talking about cars that you were stuck on. Can you run me back through the scenario again? Because I caught it, but we got off topic, but let's come back to it real quick.
All right. So I'm sure that you've followed me on my Audi journey of this Audi. And I'm in this Audi, and, transmission's out, rear timing cover's off. I mean, it's just a big-ass job. And anyway, so once I got the seals yesterday, I think around 10 a.m. I had everything clean. Everything was ready to go. And I had the upper timing covers on. I had the rear timing cover clean. Everything was ready to go. All I had to do was wipe down the engine surface and then silicone the cover. And I'm only telling you this because I want to tell you something that I did. It was kind of stupid. And you'll relate to this because I'm sure you've done something like this. So I siliconed this cover, and I'm like super nervous about anything going wrong, right? Because I don't want to do this again. And so I put the cover up, and I get it on. I get a bolt started, and I look up at both of the rear covers that I put on, and I went, oh my God. 3 bolts go through the head into the lower cover behind the upper covers. So I'm like, son of a bitch. So then I had to get all the bolts in.
Has to come out.
Yeah, so I had to go and pop the upper covers off. Luckily, they were easy with the transmission out. I was able to just get up there with a quarter, and it was anaerobic sealer. So it was like literally like one little pop of the pry bar, and they fell on the floor. And it all went fine. But what I was saying was, how do you deal with when you're so you're not in the diagnostic world as much, and I've been in this with diagnostic as well. But when you're in a car, like I've got this Audi all apart, and I can't work on anything else. I have other cards to work on. I can't work on anything else. How do you stay positive? How do you stay in a good frame of mind where you're not walking around going, is it 5 o'clock yet at 9 o'clock in the morning? Because we've done that before. And that's really bad because then all day you're like, every minute you're like, I just can't wait to leave here. How do you deal with that? So
I had to teach myself that because I would run into that pretty often when I was, I'm not saying when I was a younger tech. I will say before I would say right initially during the first part of me trying to be at the independent shop, and it kind of worked me towards the back of the dealer. And, I had gotten fired, and then I came back to the independent shop. Once I got into that feast or famine, and I was like, this is it. It's whatever. Like, hours didn't mean anything to me anymore so much as like, look, I'm here to do a job to get as much done as I possibly can. But I still ran into situations where I was extremely frustrated, where I was like, oh, man, is it 5 o'clock? Yeah, and I was asking myself that. The number one little thing, and these were free from my dad, and I think they were given to him for free. But like iTunes, I guess Apple sells them for like $150 or $160. I go like this. I put this little bitch in the ear. I put on anything that makes like the music. Music is what moves me. That's what I'm kind of getting at. I'll put this in, and I tune everyone else out, and I just start going. And I've had situations where, like on an Audi specifically, where the customer was my manager. And he had a torque converter code.
Oh, Jesus.
All he wanted to do was put a torque converter in. So he paid for a reband one, and the reband one did not work. So
that's because the torque converter is just a machine.
But that was the most common fix.
Oh, really?
Wow. That was his call. So then I put it in, got it all together. First time go, I think it took me like 18 hours, job paid 16 to do, full service mode, struts, everything that works. It was exhaust, everything. Then he goes, okay, clearly that didn't work. So then he goes, okay, I'm going to get a reman transmission. So we get the reman transmission. Shows up, but he goes, well, I just paid all this money for this new torque converter. Take the torque converter from the reman out and put mine in.
Oh, God.
Okay. So we did that. That did not work. So then it gets better. So then I'm dropping it again. It must be the transmission. So he buys a new transmission. And he wants me to use his new torque converter.
Oh, my God.
So he went from
that was the problem all along.
So then he got a new one, but he wants me to use his torque converter. And it failed.
My God.
Because now we have nasty fluid in the torque converter. So then we had to send that one back, get another new one. And this time he bought a new torque converter with the new transmission to put in, and everything was fine. But he also, because this was a used car that he bought from a customer, so he didn't know all the ins and outs. He just figured it was going to be landman, and he was going to have his Audi A5, whatever. But it had coolant leaks. It just didn't survive. There was another little thing that had happened. And he goes, that's it. I'm done. So I had this transmission in and out, I think 6 or 8 times in total.
Oh, my God.
But I got so fast at it, eventually I took that 16-hour job, and the first time go was about 18 hours, and I narrowed it down to where I can have it in and out in less than 9.
Nice.
And so I cut the time in half from what it was that it took me. So music will save your life on bad days for sure. Now, if you have other work, and it depends on how the function and flow goes, sometimes you get hung up on something that you're already picking away at the time on, and you have to jump to something else, not because you necessarily want to, but so that you don't lose the productivity value of the week. You're still productive in getting your other hours, even though you're kind of chewing away at the time on the one because you're waiting on the parts, hold this, that, and the other. So if I'm getting frustrated because I can't finish the job, and I might even be a little bit frustrated while I'm working on something else because all I want to do is finish it. But I have to remember it's a game. It's a numbers game. So it's like, look, okay, I've only used half the time for this job that we're waiting for stuff on. It's out of my control. Yeah, I'm going to have to come back to it. But what really helped me the most to get over that at the dealer level is the independent level, where they would have me have, like, of 10 lifts, I owned 5 of them. That was my thing. 5 of them were mine. And I had stuff taken apart on 5, which is why everyone gave me crap about all the magnetic trays. I'm like, look, dude, if I was working on 1 or 2, I wouldn't need 30 magnetic trays. I'm working on 5 cars, and I need like 30 or 40 magnetic trays.
You know what's cheaper than magnetic trays?
Muffin tins,
mashed potato containers. Mashed potato containers.
Oh, that's
telling you, I have a whole bunch of those damn things.
I've heard
butter dishes.
I've heard people have like all these different things. For me, the reason why I like magnetic trays is because I can stick them on the side of the box, and I'm not kicking them around, and they're not where I can't find them. They're always there.
Yeah.
And they're cheap enough. And look, it's like, I mean, yeah, I'm not saying go out and buy 30 or 40 of them right off the get-go. But if you realize that you're doing job after job after job, and you're like, okay, now I've got 5 jobs. Right. This was a stepping stone game. The first time go, I had 5 trays that I started out with. When they started having me move to 2 to 3 lifts, I bought 15 trays on promo. And then I would buy and get the free ones from Harbor Freight when I could. And yeah, I lost track after about 25. So everyone would keep asking, why you got all of them? When you work in mini bays like I do, the stress level, even though high, it goes away once you get used to it being so high. Like, and I hate this expression when my wife tells me, my uncle tells me, my mom tells me, you got to slow down. I said, in my world, there is no slow down.
No. Okay, so you're the same way. So you're the same way. You're just like you just move in a flat rate motion. Because I'm the same way. I'll walk through the house, and if I knock something over, my wife will say, "You need to slow down." I'm like, that's just how I move. Like, you don't want me to slow down because you know how much money I make if I slow down.
Yeah. No shit.
So I actually lucked out on this one. So my neighbor, so I have 2 bays and he has 2 bays, and his one bay with his main box is right next to my first bay. He has this giant snap-on boombox up top, and so when he turns his radio up, you know, it's pretty cool when I'm in the next bay. But when I'm in the next bay over, I can only hear it if he turns it up loud. And you know how it goes, right? You get a phone call, you have to keep stopping and turn it off. And so I got this. I know you've seen it on Instagram. I got this Olsa Bluetooth speaker I won at Christmas time in a giveaway. And man, that thing, it's perfect. I go over to my second bay. It's loud. I just put on my phone and I put on whatever kind of playlist I want. The place that I work at, they don't care about profanity. So I can play the most vulgar rap and they don't give a shit, which is awesome. Because the old place, they were like, you know, if somebody came in, oh God, you got to turn it off and put on Johnny Cash. You know, you can't have any profanity. And so anyways, so it's really cool. I could just put on whatever. And I listen to music all day long. And that Olsa speaker lasts all day. The last 2 days I've had it over there playing all day long, pretty much nonstop, except for like lunch and, you know, a couple breaks. But yeah, it's just, man, but today on that Audi, man, you know what's funny is, so 2 things about that is I made some headway and I feel good about where I got, because I got the whole back of the engine all together. But with that, man, if I had understood how all the wiring for this thing went in the beginning, oh my God, it would have been so much easier. Like, I was like going around and up and over and putting my arms through harnesses that I didn't realize that all I had to do was cut a few zip ties and unclip a few connectors, and I could move the whole damn harness out of the way. I didn't realize that until now. The reason taking it apart was a pain in the ass, because it was like I had to lift up the engine to take out the engine mount to get the starter out, right? And so my overhead hanger, I hang the engine, I take out the alternator, which is water cooled, take out the engine mount, the bracket, the starter, get the torque converter bolt out. Well, now, then I go and I just leave the engine hanging, and it's hanging by the supercharger. The one side, the one corner. I go take the transmission out, and then to get the cover out, I have to take the supercharger out because there's one bolt. And so then I have to go put the engine mount back in. Then I had to take the supercharger out. Oh my God, such a pain in the ass. It was just a lot of, just because I didn't know, and the service information doesn't tell you that you can't get that one bolt out with the supercharger on.
Oh, let me grab a beer. I got something about service information.
So anyways, I know we're not getting to the chat here, guys. I hope you're enjoying the show. I know it's a little weird seeing Justin on the right over there. If you want to switch to your channel, man, it's fine with me. I'm sure everybody will follow over there. I really don't care. I really wanted to just chat with you tonight. You weren't on, and so I just figured, I'm going to go live, and a lot of the people that watch you followed me over here, and hey, here we are. But I know you get a lot more people on your channel, so it doesn't matter to me.
I just do it for the people, man. And look, I mean, they're here, so this gives them more of a reason to come on over and subscribe to your channel, right?
Well, there you go.
So either way, I mean, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me either. So this was kind of
cool. I just wanted to offer it.
I was already tired. I was like, man, I did the little video because I had a video that I had to do for this evening anyways, and I got home at like 7:40. So I did the video, I edited, I kind of got it together. I was like, cool, I'll upload it. And then you're like, oh, I'm live. I'm like, cool, I need like another hour because I was figuring time to finish editing. Plus, like I just cracked open my first beer. I only took one sip. I didn't even have a chance to really drink it yet. And I was like, after an 11-hour day, I don't even know if I want to. I mean, I'm just tired. And so I was like, oh, but he's live. I'm just going to go hang out in the chat. Maybe I'll just do that. And then you had the questions. Like, oh, yeah, I'll just jump on. This is cool.
You know the only reason I didn't.
This way I can still hang out.
The only reason I didn't text you earlier is because I figured when I didn't see you on, you didn't get home, I didn't get a text from you or anything like that. I figured you had a long day and maybe you just needed some family time and whatever. And so I was like, you know what? Hey, we try to do everything we can, but we all have kids and wives and homes and, and work and everything else. And so I was like, you know what? And then I think it was Steven. I don't remember. I think Steven said, hey, I just heard from Dow. I was like, oh, okay, cool. All right. Well, I'll message you then. But I was like, you know what, man, sometimes, if I'm not there, I don't message anything. It's like, obviously, I either can't get there physically or I just need to be over here, And so I was like, hey, we all need our space every once in a while. And so I was like, you know what? And you got kids and, you never know.
Usually for me, see the wife and the kids, they all know that I do the Friday night thing and that they're already on their program. My wife, she works graveyard, so she was in bed when I got home. I paid our kids the allowance. I'm probably going live. Be good. I'll be in later. Daddy's drinking and smoking. Don't keep coming in and out. So they get all that. Then we do family time on Saturdays and Sundays. So after my wife wakes up, because she comes back from graveyard, she'll sleep till about anywhere between 10 and maybe noon. We'll do something around the afternoon time frame. So for my mornings, if I do a video that day, it's usually first thing in the morning because she's sleeping. The kids aren't not awake yet because they sleep until 10. So it's just me and Reagan that are awake. She's watching Saturday morning cartoons. But we do our thing on the weekends usually. I told them, look, Monday through Friday is me. Okay, I work 20 hours a day between work and YouTube, and I got training now. I ain't got time, but Saturday and Sunday is for family. I got designated it,
So West Main Auto was waiting to come back on. Do you want to?
Yeah, bring
if he hops on with us. He was on with me earlier.
Sure, rock and roll.
There he is.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers. You got a Red Bull and vodka or what?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Don't want to get a copyright infringement, but as you say, buzz with suds, Justin.
You won't get a copyright infringement for showing a can. You get a copyright infringement for going live on Super Bowl Sunday when you're not supposed to film the TV at the same time. You'll get one of those. I learned the hard way. I have a permanent warning on my channel. So
right. Hey, Justin, by the way, I just wanted to say from a fellow Army vet, cheers to get your retirement card, man. Super proud of you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yes, yeah, cheers.
Did 8 years myself, 2 tours.
Rock and
cheers,
roll.
brother.
2 tours indeed.
My adopted dad did 20. My adopted dad did 20 in the Air Force, retired as a senior master sergeant. And my father-in-law, he did a lot. I'm not even sure how many years, but he did a whole lot.
I got out as an E5.
Me too.
I saw that.
Me too.
Yeah, I had to go do it. I had to go do a stupid reclass course.
That's National Guard for you, though. Like they don't. There's a huge point scale.
Yeah.
See, I almost got out at my 10. But because of my college degree and the amount of credit hours that I had accrued, plus all my awards and stuff from 2 deployments, like I'm kid you not. You know how they give you perks and benefits for signing up within 90 days?
Right.
I had 2 weeks left before I was getting out at my 10-year mark. And they said, hey, E5? I said, that's all I wanted. Like I said, if I'm not sufficient enough to train Joe, then I want out. But if you give me my buck, Sergeant, and I can actually train the guys below me to do what it is that I do, I'll stay, and I'll stay in for permanent. Well, life would happen, and when I moved to California, because it's California, they did not like my rap sheet from Oregon as far as like my disabilities, so they immediately put me on a black flag medical list thing, which I was on for like 7 years. And I said, well, I can't re-enlist. I can't go to school. I can't get promoted. I guess I'll just get out then. This sucks. I wanted to do it for a career. I can't fight it. And they're like, actually, you have over 15, and it's for medical reasons. The very last day, I said, okay, First Sergeant, here's what I think you need to do in order to keep the guys in line to get them in check, because this is where the company's lacking, because he wants to hear that. I said, this is what I would do to fix it. I've been in for 17 years. This is what I would do to fix it. Appreciate you. Have a good one. I got home, letter in the mail, sitting on my laptop like the wife likes to put mail. You can't get out. You have to stay in. Holy shit.
Yeah.
So I had to stay in for another year and a half. So I guess I was at 16. But anyways, I was about 17 and a half years. They said, okay, you are medically retired as if you had 25 years of service. Good luck to you. But it took a year and a half process for the National Guard. I did not get a proper exit. They did not tell me what I had to do to get the card. They didn't tell me what benefits I was going to get. I went through no proper get out. It was like, hey, what am I doing? Like, you're having me go to these appointments and stuff, but you haven't told me what I need to do to be retired. You know, I don't know.
They never
sorry. Here you go.
Never told me where to send my CAT card. Like I didn't get my E5 until I still have it.
You guys can play video games. You guys just have to
I was sitting here thinking, I was like, okay, what the hell? So I got my VA card and all that stuff, but I was sitting here frustrated because I signed on when I enlisted as a 91 Bravo wheeled vehicle mechanic. And I did a reclass course to an 88 mic for my E5, actually, while I was in the National Guard. I did 2 years active. And then while I was in the Guard, we deployed to Iraq because we were detached to an infantry unit. And then that was in 2010. And then back in 2014, we deployed to Afghanistan. And I was sitting here thinking, I was like, okay, so any time now would be great to get my 5. And I mean, they as you know, in the Guard, slots have to be available. It's not like the big Army. It's not like active duty. The slots have to be available.
Die, and then retire.
Right. And they finally gave it to me. Literally, I got when I got my honorable, that honorable discharge certificate you get in the mail. Like when you get out, you'll get your NGB 22A form and all that stuff. But they sent it to me two years after the fact. I found out they never sent me a promotion letter. They never sent me anything. I got 2 years after the fact when my honorable discharge certificate came in. It said sergeant.
Dope.
I was like, seriously? I was never alerted to it. I was like,
yeah, no, I didn't get no DD 214. I didn't get no exit letter. I didn't get a handshake. I didn't get a pat on the ass. I didn't get a standing ovation. It was literally once I was out and just waiting for the thing to be done. Eventually, I got a memorandum that said you're officially permanently retired, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. Right. And then it took me a year to figure out how to get the ID card. But all the time I'm asking like the first sergeant questions and stuff. He's like, I don't know.
Right.
Ask them.
Top is always like clueless. Like never has any idea what's going on. I don't care whose first sergeant E8 it is. It's Top's clueless when it comes to that stuff. And retention NCOs are worse because they'll uptalk everything.
But now I want to come back.
No info.
I want to come back to this one thing I was going to tell Tom before you jumped on. Right. I didn't want you to feel too bad because today you were talking about taking it apart multiple times. That leveling kit, I had it apart 3 times, and my the manager goes, "Oh, you should be able to have it done in an hour." Then, no, I had it out and in within 30 minutes. So I got to the point where this job that only paid 2 hours, but the first time took me 4. Then it took me another 2, and then it took me a half an hour. You after doing it so many times repetitively.
Right.
That's what I keep telling these younger guys. How do I get faster? I'm like, by messing up and doing it multiple times. Then eventually that thing comes in, and you've already figured out all the little tricks to make your life easier.
All right, so let me ask you this. You're doing a leveling kit, and we talked about this, I think, last night. So let me ask you this, and honestly, were you using cordless tools or air tools?
Air.
Yeah, see, okay. See, that's what I was saying. When you're doing stuff like that, I don't care if you own cordless stuff. When you're in suspension, steering, things like that, you're straight up, 3/8 and 1/2 inch gun all day long. No air ratchets, right? I'll break out my cordless ratchet.
Even the air ratchet, because
really
on sway bar links, and I didn't have one.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I found myself doing it by hand because the air ratchet was here at the house. I was like, I don't need that shit. I brought it home. Yeah, except for there wasn't enough RPM. So I had to do on this number.
It was just spinning the shaft.
So I had to hold
to spin the net fast enough.
Open end on the hex, and I had to do this. Yeah. My boss goes, we have a lift, and I'm on a creeper. I think, yeah, but I need the suspension to be all of its weight down because
when you put a sway bar on,
it lifts it out. I need it to set down so I can jam this damn
thing. You can't have that hanging down. It's not going to line up. There's no way
because it stretches it out.
Right.
I mean, if you had a 4-post lift, it would work. But
even if you had a stick,
it's a pain in the butt.
Even if you had a stick man, you're going to end up raising the vehicle before you do anything else.
So you don't want to do that anyways. On a 4-post lift, it's such a pain in the butt. You're working with your arms hanging over.
Right. And
I hate working on 4-post.
And then you got freaking bars, of course, running across on the front and the rear, and everything's just like in your way. But I mean, a 4-post lift would be a way to get it in the air, but it would be a pain.
Stop.
Say hi. This is Little Nuts right here. Say hi.
Hello.
Say hi. Stick your head in here. There he is. That's my middle one right there. That's who they call Little Nuts. On my live
my son is turning 2 on March 15th. I'm super excited. We're going to throw him a party. Dude, so my son, he's not even 2 yet, and I actually can tell him, I'll say, hand me a wrench or hand me a pair of pliers, and he does it, dude. Super proud dad moment. Not even 2 years old, and he knows the difference between a wrench and a pair of pliers. What?
I was joking. I said, hand me a beer. How many? Do you have one?
My daughter did that.
Yeah, this is my only.
Okay. And then
what was that, Justin? I'm sorry.
I said my daughters definitely do that for me for sure.
How many do you have, Justin? 3?
He's only like 17.
How many did I procreate, or how many do I have?
Okay.
See, I'm trying to keep it PC because I don't know how far your son away is.
Oh, no, they're away. Don't worry.
So I made 4.
Okay.
My wife has made 4. Together we have 7. We are the Brady Bunch. But in the house, only 3 currently live with us presently.
Okay.
We have had 4 live with us in the past, up to 5.
What ages do you have in the house right now?
In the house, it's 6, 10, and 12. All girls.
Oh, wow.
Oh, you're in trouble.
I'm fucked.
You know what? I have 3 boys. And you know what? I don't think boys are any different.
No,
really.
you gotta raise them all the same.
They are, but they're not.
Boys are different.
Well, yeah, but you'd be amazed. I have a 19-year-old. He'll be 19 in March. And you would be amazed at how some of the drama that we've had to deal with that kid growing up. And I know that girls are difficult, but let me tell you, boys got their own drama too.
Especially when they get their first car and start breaking shit.
Oh, he didn't get his first car till he was like 18. and you know what the worst thing for him is that anytime that things don't go his way, he's mean. And he's my stepson. My oldest is my stepson. So I have that stepdad already going against me. But I've been his stepdad since he was 4. But anyways.
So he's basically your own.
What?
He's basically your own.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so, but every time things don't go correctly for him the way he wants them to go, he's not nice. And I mean, he's really not nice. Like, let's just say I have little kids here, so I can't say the word I want to say, but he's mean. He's really mean. And then I just say, okay, fine, I'm not working on your car. Go take it somewhere else. And so he'll say, well, I'm going to take it to your shop and I'll just pay you guys to do it. And then he's mean more. And I'm like, no, you're going to have to go find somewhere else. Like, go somewhere else. I was going to do it for him at home. And it was just, it's an Infiniti G37. So it's like everything is a pain in the butt. Anyways, it was just
3.5.
Yeah. No, 3.7. It's a G37. And so I have a 9-year-old and an 11-year-old and almost 19. So all at home. 3 boys, all at home. So although the oldest one, he's not home. I don't see him very often.
Yeah, like the biggest problem I have is my kid still chews on his toes. So it's like,
wait,
whatever.
What's wrong with chewing on your toes? Let's get.
I have. I'll tell you what my problem is. My feet stink like worse than the frickin' Mississippi swamp water. Okay, I would not be chewing on my toes. I can't reach my toe with my mouth.
Me neither.
It would not be in my mouth. I'll tell you that.
Near my face.
My feet have actually gotten hotter. They've gotten hotter and funkier being at the dealership because my little feet are moving. So I get home, I'm standing in swamp water. Okay.
You're killing me, man.
It's not even a sliding a sock off. No, it's a peeling the sock off.
Yeah, it's
and
like taking skin off when you take it off.
You ever stand on what's called a bed of nails? The bottom of my foot looks like I've been standing on a bed of nails. There's
just like pruned up.
Do you sweat that much? Do your feet sweat that much?
Yeah, it's from the military, man. Being trapped in boots for days to weeks on end. We'll do it.
That's a good way to get your wife to leave you alone.
Now, though, are your feet like that now?
We have a system. My shoes and socks come out here. I briskly run/walk to the bathroom, and I have this antifungal wash, and I have to sit there, even in my drunkest of states. Right. And I have to wash my feet and then go to sleep. But they'll still be hot, and she can still smell them. It's not as bad.
Right.
I'll tell you what. There's another reason why there's no reason why I can't love this woman right now because I don't know very many people that would love that. Hey, honey, and then you just got your little garbage toe just walking all over the house. Kids are just freaking out because they got to close doors because you're walking through the house. Terrible. No one wants to hang out with you in the garage because it smells like feet and ass. You know what I mean?
You know the military term fan, right?
Yeah. Oh, fuck. Feet, ass, mouth. Everyone has garbage somewhere in those 3 areas.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh,
my oldest, he works at Chipotle, and he used to work in the kitchen most of the time. So he was washing dishes almost all the time. And he would come home with literally his shoes and socks would be soaking wet. Like soaking wet. And so we had to buy him like a second pair of shoes. And then we were at I think Dick's Sporting Goods, and we were buying my little one a bike for his birthday. He was picking out a bike. And my wife looks over and sees this shoe dryer. And it will dry 4 shoes at the same time. Or it has a big thing you put on there and it dries the boots. And so now I go in the garage anytime and there's like 2 of the exact same pair of shoes in there, always drying. Now he only washes dishes once a week, but he used to come home with soaking wet feet every single night. And in the summertime, not so bad. We put him outside by the pool, wake up in the morning, sun comes up. We're in California. Well, in Nashville, it's even worse. But anyways, shoes are dry before you have to go to work. But then once it became fall, not so warm anymore, shoes weren't drying. And then we had to get him a second pair. And then you couldn't dry the other pair because, it's just crappy weather. So anyways, he's got the shoe dryer. So that works for him now. So
right.
Hey, checkmate's right. That is another reason why I spend a lot of time out here in the garage. But that's another reason why I have 3 or 4 pairs of shoes. I will tell you this. I typically only use 1, maybe 2 pair for work. I got my Air Force One Nikes, and I got my K-Swiss. I love a short top when it starts to get warm. I love a high top when it gets cold. I can't stand any kind of boot. I've tried Timberland Pros. I've tried I can't do boots. And even my boss.
You wear Air Force at work?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
You don't wear steel-toe boots?
Hell no.
I've never not worked with steel-toe boots.
In high school, I was in wrestling. I learned how to sprawl. If something's falling, my feet are out.
Right.
I don't have to worry about that. I just do that little number. Okay, cool. I saved my toe. My fault. Can't crawl.
What's funny about that is, it's weird because when you're on your feet doing that job all day long, let's talk about that because that's interesting. So I bought a really long time ago a pair of Wolverine boots, and I like them. They fit me. They worked perfect. I wore them for the whole year, and I went back to get them, and I think I got them like 2 years in a row. The same pair of boots. They worked. I liked them. They same pair. So then I went back the 3rd year at them, and we don't carry that kind anymore. And so I got a different pair of boots. Went to work. Nope, these aren't going to work. Put them back in the box. Had to go back, exchange them. Got another pair of boots. I went through I think 4 different pairs of boots where I would literally wear them for, maybe 5 minutes, sometimes a couple hours, and then say nope. And then finally I figured out that another store carried them. I just had to have them shipped to my store where I was at. And, I've never switched ever since then. And now we're going on probably at least 10 or so years of the same pair of boots. Every year I get I literally get the box and I'll read them the numbers on the box. I say, I need this pair of boots. And now I have to order them online. I order them, from online. But anyways, it's the same pair of boots because we're on our feet all day long, moving in weird positions, under dashes, under cars, doing engines, doing diagnostics, whatever it is that we're doing. But we're on our feet all day long.
Yeah.
And I don't think people understand, what that does to your feet and how your shoes or boots have to fit. Like Justin said, he can't wear boots. I can't wear any other kind of boot.
Right.
So what do you wear? What do you wear?
Well, I wear actually a mix. So one thing I know Justin is going to understand, in the military, especially if you're out on an FTX, a field training exercise is what that means. Your superiors will tell you, at certain points throughout the day, take your boots off, let your feet dry out, things like that. You have different options. You don't have to wear the boots that are issued. You have different options. But when it comes to it, for example, whenever I was a sheriff's deputy, I loved the Nike boots. I loved them, the black ones. It would go great with the uniform. They were super comfortable, especially if I had to run after somebody, kind of thing. But I have become accustomed to Puma. In fact, some of the Puma tennis shoes I think are excellent for working. Just some of the black, like athletic footwear you can get. But when it comes down to it, one of my favorite brands is the Puma boots you can get. They're super comfortable. They're more of like an athletic fit. They have a lot of ankle support, but you can also loosen it up. It has adjustments in the ankle. If I could go grab them right now without waking up my 2-year-old, I would. But you can actually adjust the ankle support on them by crossing the laces or uncrossing the laces. Justin should know about that, where you can take the laces instead of crisscrossing them at a certain point above the ankle. You can actually just loop them up one and then start crisscrossing them again, so it's less stress on your ankles. But I think Puma footwear for me is one of my favorites.
Okay.
So the boots that were my favorite, and it took me probably the first 10 years of being in the basic crap that they gave you.
Yeah.
At first, I moved from it was still Belleville, but it was like the upgraded kind that was good. Right. Then I moved over as soon as the Rocky lineup came out. I went with the Rocky Mountaineers for winter with the Gore-Tex, and then with the Rocky SV2 trainers. And those things were so super light, stupid light. I loved every bit of it. But yeah, being in the automotive, you know what really drove me to shoes and got me away from boots? Because I had to wear boots when I was over at Sears, and even my current employer says at some point, because of OSHA, we're going to have to blah. I said, nah, just look the other way. I'll get a different color. It'll look like
right.
I don't want to do all that. But the deal was, so when I was at Sears Auto Center, I had to wear these little steel-toed boots, non-slip, blah, 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 blah. My feet were killing me by like hour 4. My mom, the person that she was dating at the time, he was an independent mechanic and a former GM master tech who had 35 years over at GM, but then was retiring kind of by moving over to an independent shop. And his shoes was always clean. And I was like, how do you keep your shoes clean? I mean, furthermore, why the fuck you wearing those as a mechanic? Ain't you supposed to wear boots? Because they told me I had to wear them. He goes, son, I've been doing this for so long. I'll tell you that their feet are the most important thing. I was like, I've heard that in the military too, but what does that even mean? And he goes,
right.
I refuse to wear anything than Jordans. And that's what he wore. He had like 6 to 8 pairs of Jordans, and that's all he would wear. And really? He didn't care if he got dirty, grimy. He goes, it's a shoe.
Right.
I paid. He goes, if I can spend over $100 for a ratchet, I can spend $100 on a pair of Jordans that are gonna keep my back nice and comfy and my feet comfy and actually move around, be light and weight and nimble and get shit done. So I was like, word. So I found that K-Swiss, actually the old school tennis shoe of the 1980s, has pretty much been my favorite for years, but I've tried others. And in the wintertime, I can tell you one of my favorites is the Air Force Ones or Nike Jordans. And I have
white shoes to work?
Yeah, I get shit for that too. They're like,
why would you wear white
shoes? I'm like, because if they're black, then my feet get even hotter. And I don't need them even hotter than they are. They're already sweating profusely. But my Jordans in the wintertime are already my Air Force Ones. My Air Force Ones are a black suede. So for the wintertime, I don't care. But when it starts to heat up, I'll wear all white.
How hot does it get down there where you live?
Up to the 120s.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. So it gets much hotter there than it does here.
You could start the morning off at 30 to 32 degrees. By mid-afternoon, it'd be 70. And then by nightfall, it's back in the 40s. And then you get home, and it's back in the 30s. And at night, it's in the 17s. It's weird. It's desert.
Wow. So you're in desert then, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I remember I moved to when I was younger, they were I was getting in trouble, and they moved me to my great aunts in Nevada. And I don't remember where in Nevada, but I went somewhere in Nevada. I was a young kid. And anyways, it would get really cold in the nighttime and really hot in the daytime. It was so weird. And I was a kid from California. So, like, getting hella cold at night, I didn't understand that. Like, I mean, really cold. Right. And then really, I didn't understand, like, how it could get so cold and then so hot. It was so weird. And, but I was young, and so I didn't understand, like the weather and, things like that in the desert and whatever. But it was just very interesting how it could be so hot and so cold in the same day after day.
I could tell you. I actually studied meteorology in college. But anyway, that's a different story for a different day. But hey, so if you guys are down, I'm actually getting a new shop, hopefully next week. But I have a live that I'm going to be doing this Sunday. If Justin and Tone, if you guys would like to join, I would be totally down for that. I'd love to have you guys as company. Probably about 3 p.m. Maybe
your time 3?
Yeah, Central. I don't know what time that would be for you
Central,
guys.
That's Eastern, right?
No, I'm Central.
If he's Central,
Tennessee?
No, that'd be like Colorado, Nebraska, all those middle.
I know you're in Tennessee, right? Isn't it like?
Yeah, it's Nashville.
I'm
just 12 o'clock there right now.
He's 2 hours ahead.
It's 11. It's 11:07.
Wait, how is it only 2 hours?
Because he hasn't got to the East Coast side. There's one more.
Oh my God!
So even though it's Tennessee, technically it's 2 hours. But I think
that's so weird.
Once you get closer towards the Nashville/Florida line, that's when it's 3.
Oh my God! I'm sorry.
I'm northeast of Nashville. Okay. So once you actually get to the Knoxville, I think is what you're thinking of. Knoxville is where it kind of transitions to that East Coast time.
I lived in North Carolina for like 10 years.
Really? Where at?
I lived in Asheboro, but
I lived in High Point.
Huh?
I used to live in High Point.
Okay, I used to be sponsored by a skate shop in High Point. I used to skate there all the time.
No shit.
Yeah, swear to God. But anyways, so when you said that, when you say Nashville, Tennessee, I'm thinking East Coast because, like, I'm in North Carolina. Like, it's not that far away. And so I was really surprised just to hear, like, I thought you guys were messing with me. Like, I was like, get out of here. Like, and then, okay, you explained it. I'm like, all right, really? Oh, okay. All right, you're on the cusp. But it's hard to believe that the East Coast is that far east. It's just really weird. But anyways, okay, so back to the time. So you said what time now?
I'm thinking about 3 or 4. I'm going to start a live stream. Justin, I've actually been trying to reach out to you because I really like the fact that you're a fellow Army vet as well. So I've been trying to reach out to you. I just haven't had any success doing it, I don't think. But Nuts and
depends on how you reach out to me. There are certain things that will come across on Instagram sometimes that I'm not sure if they're spam or not, that I'll get grouped into and I'll just delete it.
But if you include nudie pictures, then he gets that.
If you and Tony have joined telephone numbers or whatever, he'll just text message it to you, or you can text me and we'll figure it out.
I'll tell you what, in the private,
in the channel too, that way I can subscribe because I don't know that I am subscribed.
I don't think you are. In the private chat on here, I'm gonna put my phone number in there for you guys. If you guys want to grab it up and shoot me a text, and then I'll text you guys my channel info.
Yeah, I'll put you.
But yeah, so
it depends
Sunday,
on what time. Right. I take my kids to the skate. So every Sunday I take my kids to the skate park, and then we go to the in-laws for dinner.
Okay.
So there's my phone number right there.
Got you.
Okay.
Let me. I'm not going to enter it right now, but I am going to take a.
I'm gonna enter it because I'll forget.
What's your name? I'm sorry. That's rude of me. I should probably have asked that first.
Me?
Yeah. There's West Main Auto. Come on.
Okay.
Well, I didn't know if he actually shared a first name when he does his thing. Like, hey, this is David from West Main. John. John or Jon?
John.
West. It's funny that it's West Main Auto instead of East Main Auto.
No. Central Main Auto. Come on now. Why are you guys trying to confuse me?
I'm just going to go ahead and...
He's a Central, Western, Eastern.
I'm just going to go ahead and change my YouTube name to Northeast Southwest Main Auto Repair.
Hey, there you go. Nautical Main Auto Repair, right? You can go by Nautical if you want to. Okay, John West Main Auto Repair. That's the channel too, right?
Yeah. Well, without the John.
Right. I put people's names in because then sometimes if I call and I have a question, then I feel bad that like I fucked up their name or I don't remember it.
Hey John, I sent you a text, so make sure you got it. I just want to make sure I entered everything correctly. That's all.
Both of you can call and text me anytime. I'm in my own business, so I answer the phone as I want and as I please.
Remember, he's on Central/East Coast time, but he's a West Coast shop.
Okay, you got you got 4 little emojis coming in that I like using. So there you go.
I just got it. Let me send you my favorite emojis. Hold on. Let me see if I can find
poo
it.
Coming through?
I have to actually send it or find it.
Well, Justin, I'm glad you had a smash end of your week, man. Let me catch up on these comments real quick here. I gotta.
Yeah.
I want to make sure I don't leave anybody out. I see we have a lot. We've been so just chatting up a storm that everybody is I think we forgot about him. Oh, you know what? Okay, hang on.
I've actually been looking at the chat. There's apparently a guy who's a huge fan of Justin on here.
Oh, is that Caden?
Juan Prats. He's like Justin with a ton of exclamation points.
Juan, brother, I hope you and your mom are doing really good. I know that
Checkmate says swamp ass. Now it's swamp foot.
Hey, swamp ass is real. I'll tell you that. I learned that.
Oh, yes, it is. It absolutely is. Sergi from Chicago said, "What's up?"
For my first mobilization, I did 100 sit-ups and I had swamp ass in there.
I don't wear steel toe boots anymore because of that kind of crap. Composite toe Reebok, or you know what? I've always worn steel toe boots just because like that one time that I don't know, maybe something might happen and maybe I'm not as nimble. Well, I know I'm not as nimble right now. I got a pinched nerve in my back. So like I lay on the floor to do stretches at lunchtime. We have a carpeted break room. And so I lay on the floor and I have to do these stretches like 3 times a day. And the first day I worked there, I came out, they were like, "Hey, how was your nap?" Because there's cameras everywhere. So they thought I was in there sleeping. I'm like, no, I'm not having a nap. I wish. Oh, Princess Jamie says hi, but she can't stay.
Hey, Princess.
Nick's been here so Princess, John, Princess is also in the TTS group I was talking about. She's the one that works on the Jeeps. He just put an LS motor in a Jeep and then drove it hella far with no cooling fans. Redbacks all the way. Is that pretty sure that's supposed to be Reeboks? You may have bounced already. I don't know. Loncho's performance course time. That's right. It's always course time, man. No, you know what, Justin? I stopped that earlier. I got off work and I was like, you know what, man? It's been a long ass day. Man, we're doing 805 tall cans tonight. So I stopped at Rayleigh's and got me like 4 tall cans, 2 for tonight and 2 for tomorrow.
Look, I used to like Coors when I lived in Colorado, but I swear to God, Coors tastes like bananas to me. And I just couldn't get over that because I hate fruit.
Bananas?
I don't know. I don't know why. It's just Coors had that taste similar to like a banana to me. I don't know why.
I will tell you, I get a lot of crap for drinking Coors Light. Everyone keeps calling it was it Colorado piss water or it's pretty much water? Yes, exactly. So
Who cares?
Who cares?
And I'm smoking and I'm drinking, guess what? I can drink mass amounts before I even get drunk. And
you can afford to drink a lot of them.
Smoke.
And you can afford to drink a lot of them.
It's your body. You're a grown-ass man. Nobody has any ring.
It's cheap and affordable.
If people,
and you can enjoy it, right?
So look, if people would have scrolled on back to the beginning of my content, which they don't because it's old, they would have seen me with Pabst in my hand. They would have seen me with Natty Light in my hand because that's what I could afford. I'm like, who am I going to argue? They're giving me 15 beers for less than $10. Yeah, I'm going to drink that. And
and if you buy them at Costco, it's even cheaper.
But I'll tell you what, they had high alcohol content, and after, I don't know, 6, 7 of them or whatever, I was feeling pretty good. And next thing you know, the thing tasted all right, right? It takes 6 or 7 to taste all right. But Coors Light is good from start to finish, but it's like Snap-on versus Harbor Freight. Harbor Freight tastes like shit in the beginning, but you get used to it, and eventually you learn to taste for it. You don't want to drink Snap-on because it just costs too goddamn much. But, eventually, hey, you're like, oh, well, you know what? It hasn't broke, and it works, and it does my job. So, yeah, you kind of weigh the pros and cons. Coors Light.
I want to address this person he's asked a couple times. So Checkmate, I generally don't give out blue wrenches to, if you join my live streams and, you participate in my chat and, things like that. I don't have a problem with that, but, I definitely don't just pop that out. But I'm on live every Wednesday at 6:30. And then Fridays when Slackass is not online, I just have to take up the slack. I would have went on live earlier if I knew you were going to be so long.
I want to know where this Nick guy gets his monkey butt powder from.
I'll tell you.
I know, right? I saw that right there.
I'll tell you this about. I'll tell you this about blue wrenches. Look, they are earned and not always easily given. Now, in the beginning of my YouTube stuff, there was a lot of people that I seen all the time, so I gave them out to select the people that I saw all the time and left it at that. There are some channels that did that in the beginning, but they do not do it anymore because now they have an opportunity to sell you onto a program, which I tried to figure out, and I really don't think that I want to do it. But I thought about it. I get it; it's extra money, but if you have, I think it's like 40,000 subscribers or something, or so many fucking views, people can pay you like they would on Patreon to support you every month, and they get a special little bullshit thing. So somebody was asking, how do I get a blue wrench? I'm like, I don't know. Do you want blue, green, yellow, black? I mean, I got a few of them, but you got to pay X amount. But we haven't gotten to that point where it is available yet. I have to meet the requirements for it to be available. And the more I thought about it, the more I was thinking, I have a couple of friends that have well over 100 to 200,000 subscribers that occasionally will go live, and they have not one blue wrench at all. And when I asked them about it, they said, "What for? I can moderate my own shit. Even if there's thousands of people in the chat, I choose who I want to be in here, not be in here, etc. And I can choose past it. I don't need people to do it for me." This is how they think. And I was like, well, sometimes it's nice, like when I'm a smaller channel, so long as people are, what I figure is like, not to be Bill Belichick, do your job, but as long as they're doing their job and they're getting rid of these people that are just being assholes, right. I feel like it's deserved, earned, etc. But there are some bigger channels that have over a couple 100,000, even a couple million subscribers that have 0 blue wrenches. So before a younger channel says, "Oh yeah, I'll give you one maybe in time" or something like that, really think about that, because they're moderating your channel. You're putting a lot of trust in there, and there's a lot of people that don't trust people so easily, to the point where there's people, like I said, that have a couple 100,000, a couple million followers that don't give out any, not one or two, none, like absolutely zero. So don't feel bad that you don't have a blue wrench. Look, it's a privilege. It's something nice. It looks cute in the chat, but really you're here to support the man that's creating the content. You're supporting him by watching the content. You're supporting him and myself by being here in the chats to share in the discussion topic. That really should be enough, okay? It really should be. If you get one, cool. I've been in numerous chats, the Heavy Wrench and a handful of others that I don't have one for, and that's fine. It does not bother me. I did not go to their channel for a blue wrench. I went to their channel for content. That's how you should look at it. If you get one, you get one. If you don't, whatever. You didn't go
there.
there.
I'll give you a blue wrench, Justin. I'll give you one.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, you know what? If you say you're not a blue wrench, go ahead and make a comment over there to see what happens. Now, you know, the other weird thing is that, so for the viewers here, we do Ag Tech's in the house. What's up, man? We do the live streams on StreamYard. So unless we're watching it on our phone, we don't see blue wrenches. And I mean, honestly, like, you know, I do have a few people that are regulars, and they can't get on anytime that I get on, which is awesome because they want to hear what I have to say. Go ahead, Justin.
I'm sorry. I do want to say this because, so checkmate. I know that you're trustworthy, and I enjoy your feedback and your support, and I love the comments that you have, and in no way am I trying to dismantle that, and in no way am I trying to say that you do not have great comments and that you don't share good feedback. That's not what this is about. I'm just sharing with you some personal facts that I've learned throughout the years, that it really is, it's up to the content creator. And I believe that we should all respect that. Every content creator is different in their own right, and it is up to them solely to decide it. Even if I'm on Tone's channel, if I'm not a moderator, I'm not going to stop watching him. I'm not going to stop talking to him because I don't have a little blue wrench thingy next to my name to provide feedback. You know what I mean?
It actually doesn't mean anything. It doesn't actually do anything.
Right.
It just makes, I mean, it gives you a blue wrench, your name's in blue, but it really doesn't mean anything. You're still just a person in the chat, and I appreciate you joining the chat tonight. I appreciate you joining our content and listening to whether you're here to see, you know, John, you know, East Coast, Central, not sure, West Coast maybe, or you know, me and Justin over here on the Best Coast, you know, I mean, you know, whatever. We appreciate you joining the chat, whoever chat you're from. I appreciate it. Enjoy it. We're here to just BS, give you guys some feedback, scroll through the comments, and that's about it. I mean, hey, and Ag Tech, thanks for joining the chat. Silver Street Garage is in the house.
Ag Tech. Ag Tech is a good guy.
If you guys don't follow Silver Street, do you follow Silver Street on Instagram, Justin?
I don't know. I will check them out. One more little tidbit though, like when saying that every content creator is different from me, I don't give out very many blue wrenches anymore because the ones that I did give out, those are people that I remembered thoroughly. Like, you know, as you're a content creator, how many people you see in the comments of your videos and on the chats. For me, it's an OG thug symbol.
Right.
Hey, if this guy's been around for a minute, he's commenting, he's giving good feedback, and he's in the chats, he's going to get one at some point. That's just how I nominate them. I don't nominate them by, oh, yeah, I'm not Oprah Winfrey. You get one, and you get one, and you get – no. They're not like that. For me, look, man, if I see you and I'm happy with how things have been going from the videos and in the chats, you get what you get, and that's how I show my equalness as far as respect, because I feel like, hey, look, man, I appreciate it. This is how I do it, though. I mean, everyone's different, but that's how I do it. For me, that's how I separate my OGs from my new Gs, okay? Because I got new people that come in, and they got questions too, and even though they're great and they're in the live chat, that don't mean I know them well enough to or feel comfortable enough to know that they're exactly the people that I think I can trust. Because it could be a troll, could be here today, gone tomorrow.
Right.
Know?
Right.
Yep. Absolutely.
I
agree.
Actually, something I think you guys are going to laugh at. So one of my customers, a couple of my customers have my personal phone number, and he texted me. He said, "Hey, I want you to come over on Monday and come look at my truck. The only problem is I have 2 spank monkeys hiding in a possum tree." What the hell does that mean?
It's just a
Wait, say that one more time.
He said, one of my longtime customers just texted me. I think he might be drunk, to be honest, but he just texted me. He said, "Hey, I want you to come over and look at my truck on Monday." Hold on. This thing just reset itself. Shit. "Hey, I want you to come over and look at my truck on Monday, but I have 2 spank monkeys hiding in my possum tree." Or in the possum tree.
What the hell does that mean?
I mean, before he comes over, he's got to jerk it first.
Well, I think I may have to ask him to do a drug test.
Possums, they're genuinely lazy. So I'm assuming that his little soldier's been sleeping for a minute. And so what he's got to do is take care of what needs to be taken care of because it hasn't been taken care of for a little bit. So before you come over, I need to handle this business, and then we can handle our business. That's my guess.
I don't think Mitchell 1 has a labor rate for that. So.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and put a labor time in there. I'm gonna say 0.3 hours. Okay.
0.3. I'm not giving 0.1. I ain't even giving that much credit. I don't give him that much credit.
Cabin air filter.
I want to catch up here for just a minute. If you guys aren't following Silver Street Garage, he has some really good content. Justin, if you're not following him on Instagram, you should check him out. He's actually he has some really, really cool content, and I really like his Instagram page.
Does anyone know how to get past an IP block on Instagram for me to get back into my Instagram?
Don't you have to create like a new? I don't know.
Yeah, you got.
I tried with several new email addresses, but apparently my IP address is blocked, and I even have NordVPN. So I have a virtual private network that is not traceable, and it's still saying I can't get in. All because I got into an argument with somebody who reported me, and apparently they took it serious. And I'm sitting here like, I didn't even threaten anybody. I didn't do anything. I just had an argument with somebody. They reported me, and I got banned from Instagram.
And you got to be careful on social media. So, Justin, I got to tell you what happened. As soon as I got on, like 12 people got on, right? And somebody that was in CP's chat, everybody came on and said, "Oh, CP, you're stealing all CP, or CP stealing all of your viewers." And I'm like, whoa, hang on, squash that. No. I don't want any drama. I'm not on here to steal viewers. No one's stealing my viewers. I don't want any drama whatsoever with anyone. But like literally those words came on the screen. I'm like,
I was actually on CP's live stream earlier. He invited me to it. I don't have issues with anybody. I don't ever want to have issues with anybody. I don't want drama. But like I told you, I told CP I was going to get on his live earlier. He invited me to it, so I hopped off yours, went on his live, and then I told him, "Hey, I got to get on somebody else's," and I came back to yours.
Cool, man.
So
hey, you know what? Like I said earlier, I got on earlier because you know what? I use tools all day. I love tools. I love to use tools. I don't want to talk about tools all Friday night, and that's nothing disrespectful about anyone. And you guys are mechanics, right?
Yeah.
If you guys take offense to that, I hope not.
The
only reason I say that, Dustin, is because I've gotten on like several live streams lately, and I've seen the ass end of some sort of drama content that I didn't know who it was about or what, but I knew I didn't want to be a part of it. And so I'm just trying to make sure that there's like a clear line that there is like no reason for drama. I don't want to be a part of anyone's crap. I make my videos. I do my live stream for fun. If you come on my live stream, I hope you enjoy yourself. Come on here to have fun, talk about cars, talk about whatever. And just try to keep it real about what I enjoy.
Right, and I don't care about.
I'll tell you how to.
I think CP is a great guy.
I'll tell you how to handle it. That way, we don't have to discuss it no further. But I'm gonna tell you how to handle it. Okay. Look, about a year ago, I didn't even know who he was. Okay, and I just knew that he didn't like me and that there was some bad stuff going around. Him and I squashed it like a week ago, and we had it out on a live stream on Power Stroke Jude's channel. In fact, Ed, the old tech guy, was calling him Power Stroke Jude, the Tool Jesus, because he's bringing channels together. I can't disagree with him. But I had it out with a couple of guys that I knew for a fact that hated me. That's cool. But turned out he didn't. Turned out it was miscommunication. But we never actually settled up. We never actually talked about it until that night. And we squashed it. Cool. Hey, rock and roll. I got nothing wrong with CP. As far as like jumping in someone's live stream, stealing viewers from what? Man, I'm in live streams all over the motherfucker, man. I'm over here, I'm over there. I'm not stealing nobody. I'm going over and just enjoying the chat. But if you just keep doing what you're doing, which is focusing on your content and focusing on how to help other people, once you can take yourself to that level, and you can be hated on. Look, I told you, Tone, there's two different types of people out there. You either love me or you hate me. There is no in between. There is no in between. Okay, people either love me or they hate me. The majority love me because I'm easy to get along with.
I hate you.
And there are some that hate me. I had a couple of people that actually just genuinely hate me, whether it's from something that they heard or something that they've drummed up in their own head. I can't change that. Okay, I can't fix that, and I'm not here to fix your issues with me. I don't have time for it. I got my job. I got my family. I got other things going on. If I can provide you with helpful information to make your life better, easier, make it to where you can understand how you can save money, hey, great. I'm all about it, okay? And I just focus on myself. I got people that I thought I was friends with for 3, 4, 5, 6, even 7 years. And all of a sudden, after some silly, stupid thing that they decide they don't want to be a friend of mine anymore, cool. Bye. Bye, Felicia.
All I have to say about that.
Existed. And I do that because for me it works. For me it works. I don't have to worry about them, their drama, anything else. Hey, look, what's done is done. You made your decision. You lay with it. For me, forward motion, baby. I ain't got time for it. I'm over here. I'm on a different level. Different level. They're here. I'm here. You want to hang up in the past? Hang up. I'm going to be up here, and I'm going to keep moving forward because that's what I do, and I keep a positive attitude doing it. People ask, how do you keep the positive attitude? Simply this. I leave everyone else behind. I ain't got time for the bullshit. I'm at a different level.
Well, just so you know,
you're going to be good.
You and I are friends until the end. That's all I got to say.
Right, same here. Like,
telling you, dude. I mean, it's that simple. I will, from the very beginning, from any time I've met anyone, I will be helpful, courteous. I will give the shirt off my back. I will fly across the country if I can afford to help you to do whatever needs to be done so that way you are living a better life. And that's a personal piggy bank. I can't just give you fucking money. That's not what I do. But when I say, hey, if you ever need me, I'm a phone call away. That means that, hey, you want to talk, you want to shoot the shit, you want to make improvements, I got you. But if you're just calling me for money, bye.
Can I borrow $20?
That crowd. And I've had people say, well, you're two-faced. You told me I could count on you, that I could call you with whatever. But motherfucker, I haven't talked to you in 2 months, and the first thing you ask me for is money? Man, I don't know where you come from, but that's not a friend. You asked for a friend. You asked for someone that could be relatable and that gives you advice. And now it's all about money, and I can't do that. Sorry.
I can't text you for money?
No, I've had people like that.
I thought I was filled on an application. I thought it was like a Dang.
You laugh.
Wait. I'm not.
Like I do a giveaway. This is why I don't do very many giveaways. I've done a giveaway where I'm like, all right, cool. Hey, I want to help you out. I'm feeling generous. I want to give you $100 or $50 or whatever, and I'm going to put it in a gift. I'm gonna mail it to you. But I'm slow. I'm a snail mail. Okay, might take me a month to get it to you, but you'll get it. Okay, don't have to bug me every day or every hour, but you'll get it. And it'll be a month. It's something you didn't expect. It's going to come, and it's going to be like a stimulus check. You don't know when it's going to come, but when it shows up, you're happy as shit. That's what it's going to be like. I'm going to send it to you. You're going to get it, and you're going to be happy. Okay? But then once they get it, they're like, so when's the next one?
Hey.
I'm not Uncle Sam, all right? I'm not going to give you one every month. I'm going to give you one when I have it, when I feel like it, and then maybe it don't go to you. Maybe it goes to somebody else that might need it. You ever thought that there are other people out there that might want the same opportunity you got?
Right. I thought when I gave you my phone number that we were like subscribing to like a monthly donation.
All right, so
no? Justin.
No?
I got a question. I got a question for Justin.
I'll be right back. I have to take a leak.
Yeah. Hey, okay, Justin, I got a question for you. Can I get $20?
Yeah, no shit.
Okay.
Hey, I was asked that 2 weeks ago.
Are you serious?
And then I said, man, I've always kept it real with you. Look, I've tried to give you ideas. I've tried to teach you how to make money. I've tried to teach you how to save money. I've tried to teach you how you can manage your budget a little bit better. I don't know what else to do for you. I cannot afford to give you money. A day later, he goes, it came back as an error. I don't know what you said. I blocked him. Then he goes to my Facebook. I knew you were a two-faced piece of shit, blah, 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 blah. You said call you whenever I needed you, this, that. I said, look, man, obviously we got the wrong idea, and you got the wrong idea about me and how it is that I am. I'm here for you. I'll give you advice. I'll give you as much as I possibly can, but I cannot afford to take care of your family and my family. I didn't sign up for that. When you said you wanted a friend, I meant I would be your friend. I didn't mean I'd be your monetary friend where I gave you money every time you asked for it. You didn't talk to me for 2 months. And then the first thing you're going to ask is, can I get $20 because we need food? I've talked to several people, to include Stephen Doolittle, about this situation. I'm not going to name names. I'm not going to tell everyone about who it was. But I got tired of it. I was like, dude, I'm not going to just give you money. That's not what I meant when I said if you need anything. I didn't mean call me every time you need cash. Even Stephen Doolittle tried to help me out, and the guy refused it.
Right. Yeah, that's I've had people like that, especially after, I started my business and everybody knows, okay, like I'm making it, I'm doing well for myself and stuff like that. I had people come out of the woodworks I hadn't talked to in forever. They're just like, hey, you got $100 I can borrow for my light bill or just things. I'm like, really? So you didn't talk to me at any other point, but now you want to be best buds. Like, no, man, get out of here.
I thought that's why you gave me your phone number.
Hey, and then there's
Larry. I'll give you $100.
There's Larry.
You got to work for it.
It might be a troll. It might be a troll. It might not be. I don't know. There's Larry Bird. Justin, bro, I'll send you money. I don't want your money. And then how many of you out there that are content creators or non-content creators or wanting to be content creators, you keep always in the comments I get, must be nice to get free shit. Cool. You know what? And the community page, every single time I get a notice and I don't want to do it, I've given you the opportunity to reach out to the same company that's looking for people to review products.
And it's not even really free.
Get free shit if you ask.
It's not even really free because you had to work to get to that point. So it's not even really free.
Right. But it doesn't hurt me any to share the wealth. It's like, look, I don't want it.
Right.
But clearly they're going to give it. So, hey, anybody.
And a lot of people, like, I've seen people saying that, oh my God, the links and the screenshots you're posting are fake. I'm like, no, they're not fake. And I've commented on a couple, and people were saying that, oh, that's not true. That's not real. Like, seriously, get the fuck off here.
You know what's crazy though is
they got links, they got products, they keep asking. Like a lot of these companies, they're made. I get it. They're made in China. Oh, it's made in China. Yeah, but motherfucker, you know what? When you start a YouTube channel, and let's say they want you to review a jump pack, and you already have one, but you're looking for content and you want to do a comparison video, or you want to see if it's worth all the hype and it's free, why the fuck would you take it? When I was a younger channel and I had no following or I was trying to make content, I took everything I could get. Now I've gotten to a point where I work so fucking much, I don't take everything I can get. I do what it is that I do at work with the family and everything else. Look, if Gear Wrench or Tekton or Capri said, hey, would you like to try this out? It's a worthwhile product. I'd love to give an opinion and feedback on it. And then when I'm done, I'll usually either send it off to another YouTuber to do a review on, or I'll give it away. But yeah, I will take that. But if it's on the same token that I've already done a million different styles of videos on when I first started, there's no relevancy for me and doesn't mean anything. And to me, it's just garbage material. But look, maybe you're just starting out. Maybe you'd like to do a side-by-side comparison about what it is that you have and don't have, or a different company. Or maybe you have a made in USA and it's made in China and you want to see the difference and showcase it. You can. And now you have the opportunity. It's the ball is in your court now.
Well, you know what's crazy is it's also it's kind of like trying out products or reviewing products and doing that kind of thing is also like creating content, right? I have a list of things that I want to make videos on, but guess what? I have to wait for them to come in because I'm an independent mechanic. So I may diagnose a whole bunch of transmissions and a whole bunch of cylinder heads and a whole bunch of, whatever. And I may not have a vacuum leak for a long time. But when I do get a vacuum leak where I can pull out my vacuum leak tester and smoke test an intake and show you how to do that, I can't do it until it comes in. And so I got a product, like the very first product I ever got was a Bolster mat, right? And it seemed like a good idea. I made a video about it. It was pretty cool. Like, hey, if you need this, man, it works great. And I haven't used it since. It's been in my toolbox. I always look at it thinking, okay, well, one of these days this is going to work. Because when I have oil pans and, whatever, I just throw the crap in a bucket. Right? I'm not going to sit there and like piece it all out unless it has to be drawn out. But on this Audi that I'm working on right now, it was the perfect time because all the bolts were different all the way around. And so I got it out and I put them in it and it worked perfect. So sometimes it's you have to wait for the opportunity to present itself, to be able to use it, to try it. And this word is going to hurt the tool companies. Honestly, try it. Because I'm not going to do anything like, and I've, I'm like, and I'm the same way as Justin. If I don't like it, well, then don't send it to me. Because I'm a real mechanic and I have real tools and I know how to use them. So if it sucks, don't send it to me. Because if it sucks, I'm going to say it sucks.
Right.
Yeah. Because I'm not going to use crap and say it's good. Because the whole reason I made a YouTube channel was to help people. No. Let me rephrase that. Help technicians. And that was my whole reason I started my channel, was to help technicians, whether you're young or old, new, just coming into it. It doesn't matter whether you've been doing it for 50 years and you don't know how to do something. That was the whole reason I started my YouTube channel. And I tend to keep it that way. And every tool that I review, every tool I talk about, every tool I show you how to use is real life, no BS. I'm not going to tell you to buy something if I wouldn't buy it myself.
Right. I want to say what's up to Tom Quaylen, because he's in the chat and he's a boy. And I did share our live stream on the community page, so probably going to see some newer guys coming down in here, just so that way you got a heads up. And I will tell you, everyone starts a YouTube channel for different purposes. My purpose in starting my YouTube channel 8 years ago, even though I've had this channel for a little over 4, I've had some redos. I've talked to you about that. Was because the reason why I started doing YouTube to begin with was I got tired of watching 10 videos to find one fucking answer. So I took what I learned when I had no service information, plus I knew what I knew, and I conjoined them all and started making how-to stuff on my own personal vehicle. And I posted maybe once every other month. Like I didn't post very often, but I posted when I wanted to. And I grew a following. The bigger following that I had achieved in a shorter period of time was well before anyone was talking about tools. No one was talking about tools at all 8 years ago. But I did an entry-level tool basics tool list off of the one I got from community college, and I narrowed it down because I had started at Chrysler, and I narrowed it down to what it was that I actually needed to do my job as a dealer tech. And that video went semi-viral, and I had like 50,000 views in the matter of months. And for a channel that had 2 followers, it jumped up to 1,000 pretty goddamn quick. So I ran with it. And I was like, oh, maybe there's a lot of people out here that really just don't know the differences. So I started doing things, slop tests, wiggle tests, weird stuff, right? To kind of show everybody the differences between those. But so then all of a sudden I went to like a more of a home improvement kind of style where I was sharing my thoughts on tools instead of doing all the how-to stuff. And that became the majority of my content.
Thank you, gamers.
I also was one of the first ones to ever do tool truck videos. And when I stopped doing it, and even Clay Kuhn will tell you, he was upset that I had decided that I didn't want to do it anymore, and I deleted my channel. And then he started his own thing and started really doing it. But I was one of the first ones to do truck videos. And the same ones that I was doing with Jeff with Gear Wrench and bullshitting, I thought was fun. You know, you go on there, you film some of the new stuff, you have a bullshit topic where you just bullshitting with the tool guy, and I thought it was great. And then I decided to start doing store walkarounds. And then next thing you know, everyone else was doing store walkarounds because they liked them so much. I'm like, man, fuck a catalog. Catalogs are done.
Yeah.
Look at fucking goddamn pictures. I want to see.
Let's hold it in our hands.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
You can look at a picture all you want. It's like
that. And then other channels came up and they were doing it. I'm like, well, you're better at it than I am. Go ahead. And I did other things. So I never said anyone stole information from me or look, people have done things better than I can, but I'm okay with that. I like multiple opinions. I like seeing, even if it's a similar style, I like seeing multiple opinions. But doesn't mean that I ran out of ideas. I've got other ideas. So as an independent shop, even leading up to my last year or whatever, I was, hey, y'all want to see the shit in motion. Everyone kept saying, that's all well and good, but you're not showing it. Fine, motherfucker, I'll show you. So I started showing it. And I started showing everything that I was doing, which my shop was like, well, he's been here for 3 years. He kicks ass. He produces a lot. Let him do his thing. It makes him better. It makes him do his job better. Let him fucking do what he needs to do. And so I started incorporating it. Well, it wasn't like that in the beginning. It's like the dealership now. Dealership does not want me to film. I have to respect that. As a result, maybe there's a couple of pictures on Instagram. That's the extent of it. I can't like do the same things I did before, but I can still share my stories. And if you're a mechanic and you hear what I'm saying, you're like, yep, I know what he's talking about today. You know what I mean? It's just certain people that are not mechanics that are like, I knew this was another bullshit video, but if you listen to it, it really wasn't. Like there was information. You just missed it because you didn't see the reel. Instead, you heard the reel instead of seeing it. But I always try to keep it as as I possibly can.
And see, like my channel, I've only got 391 subscribers, and I'm sure I could have more if I did different content. But the thing is, I do content that I want to do, and I see the comments and stuff like that. And I see a lot of people make suggestions, and I'm like, okay, you know, there's a couple good suggestions in here, but it's not the content that I want to do. It's not something that I want to put on my channel. Like, it's a great idea, but is it something that I really want to do? Because in the end, it's like, at the end of the day, it's not something that I want to just sit here and take everybody's ideas and turn their ideas into my videos. I want to take my ideas and put them into my videos. And I still take ideas from other people, things they want to hear. I take viewer requests and I'll make videos for viewers and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, the videos that I want to make is what I put out. So, I mean, I have 391 subscribers. Sure, I could have more than that. I mean, if I really pushed myself. But the thing is I make the videos that I want to make, and I just hope that everybody else enjoys it. And I mean, people they don't have to like my videos, the stuff that I put out, but this is what I want to put out. This is what I feel that is important to the tool community or to the automotive industry. These are things that I put out. And sometimes, like my last video, I didn't have to include the fact that I slipped and busted my ass on a sheet of ice, but I put it in my last video just because I thought it was kind of comical and maybe some people would enjoy it and stuff like that. But I primarily just try and talk about like day in the life stuff or how we do things. And I'll put out repair videos every now and then, like Honda timing belts or timing chains. Like I get a lot of Cadillac CTS timing chains because nobody around here wants to do them, and I'm the only guy that does them. And I like to put content out that's going to help people, and especially technicians, better themselves in the trade. I plan on putting out a lot more diagnostic type videos that are going to help people in the trade, because I've got years and years and years of diagnostic experience behind me, and I think that's going to help people. And that's the kind of content I want to put out. I'm not looking for a huge follower base. I'm just looking to connect with everybody, because as everybody knows, no one person is going to know every single thing. So if there's a video that I put out and I do it this way and I think it's efficient, but somebody else has an opinion and they can post it in the comments, well, why not give it a shot? It might be more efficient than the way I'm doing it. So it not only can benefit other people, it can benefit me.
Well, yeah, that's the thing is you do your channel. Real quick, Justin, I'm sorry. You made your channel for a reason, the same thing I did. And the same thing Justin did. We all made our channels for whatever reason we started, right? So to help people, whether we're helping. So I believe we all did our channels for the same purpose, to help technicians, young, old, big, small, rich, poor. It doesn't matter, right? We didn't want people to buy shitty tools. We want people to know about good tools. And we try to teach people, whether it be, I'm more like you, John. We have more of the diagnostic and repair, right? Justin's going into to learn diagnostics, right? But we went into this, I went into this. The whole reason I started was because there was not one video on YouTube about how to time a 3.0 liter eco diesel engine.
That's what I have.
And it's so simple when you have the toolkit and you put it back together. However, when you take it apart, you have no friggin' idea. And so you're paint markering, and I did this. I'm paint markering every sprocket to every chain, right? And I put it back together, and it's like, loosen everything. And there's no notches, there's no nothing. And, well, you just have to trust the tensioners. And I'm like, what the hell? And so I made a video about it because it was so bizarre to me that you have to trust all of this. That's the whole reason I started my channel, was to help people and to simplify things. Like Justin said earlier, you watch 25 videos to get the information of one, right? So, and that's what I tried to do.
And Justin was 100% right.
And we all put our own spin, right? So every one of us maybe will come out with a video that one of the other of us did, a very similar video, but it's our twist. And that's what people, and that's the cool thing about YouTube is, go on YouTube and you can see a million different ideas done a million different ways. And we all started our channel for the same reason.
Right. And I was actually watching, Justin, I was actually watching your video recently about how you were like over here, just like in the corner dying. You'd pulled the cab off a 6.0. You were doing a bulletproof kit on it. And that's actually where I started out, was doing bulletproof kits on 6.0s. You're talking about this head bolts, and you're over here like, oh my God, F it, I quit. And I know how you feel, man, because that first 2 weeks was just like raw. I mean, it was just like everything in your upper torso, your back, your abdomen was just killing you. Your arms, you couldn't even like pick up your arms to like tight. And that's all I did was like 6.0 and 6.4 bulletproof kits for months. And, just seeing channels grow and the content that they put out, just the information that gets out there is just unbelievable to me. And that's the one reason I really wanted to push starting my own channel. And, I started at first and I took a long break. I didn't post a single video for like 4 months. And I was like, there's people asking me, where did I go? Like, people actually care about the, the videos I put out. And I'm sitting here thinking, I was like, I didn't know anybody actually cared about my content. And I'm sitting here thinking, I got to put something out for these guys. And it's just motivated me. And I see Justin, I mean, his subscriber count is astronomical. Like, just, you don't expect an automotive channel to get like that. And then, U-Tone with everything you have done, just seeing, your channel grow and stuff like that has really motivated me to get out there and start putting more content out. And I think it's going to help the community, especially technicians, because a lot of times like Mitchell 1, all that like Identifix, direct hit, stuff like that, it doesn't have all the info. When you can look up a video online that will give you a step-by-step walkthrough on some of these things, it is more beneficial than paying $150, $175, $200 a month for some of these repair programs. I think it's more beneficial. And you two guys, especially, I mean, you guys put out great information, and that's what I try to do on my channel as well. But I'm still learning. I'm still in that curve. I'm a fairly new channel, less than a year old. So I have actually watched Justin. I've been watching you for years. Nuts and bolts. I found you in the last couple of weeks because of Justin. And so I've watched a lot of your content as well. So I think I kind of have a path I want to go down with my channel because of you guys and several other influencers as well. So it's just amazing that we can have a community as small as we are come together like we have and provide this content and information to people.
I want to give you a little piece of like a training timeout, so to speak, to help you with future content. And I've actually been, I don't want to say coaching, but like talking with Tone about a lot offline as well as online.
Nudie pictures in nudie pictures. We talking nudie pictures. That's it.
Right?
I was wondering what those pictures were that came in from Justin.
Oh,
just now. I have his number.
I'm sorry. You got 3 more minutes.
It's all about the docking station. Am I right? Hey, but no, look, seriously though. So you want to help people. You have a certain flair that you have for your channel of things that you would like to do with your channel. But you have to understand, you had mentioned that a lot of times that you have a lot of requests, but you only want to put so much content out and not necessarily about everything that somebody else had said. You ever think about, this is how I've done it, because you wanted to know how it works. Look, I might have a video for the day, but maybe I'll incorporate a comment or a follower's question or what have you into the video.
Right.
Okay. This is how my day was. Okay, this is the little cool fucking thing that I got today. Okay, this is why I got it. Okay, now we had so-and-so's question, which I think that needed to be further discussed because it's too much to talk in text in a comment. I'd rather just discuss it. So here we go. All right, so so-and-so's asking how they're going to fit X amount within a certain budget. Great. Like I was talking with Tone. I'm like, look, I've done videos about it, but I've never actually put a price behind it. I would really like to hear another opinion. I've shared numerous opinions of how I felt about tools and starter kits and all sort of stuff. I've never actually put a price behind it. And I know that he's been doing it longer, and he knows both my side, the R&R/side B of things, and he knows side A, diagnostic and electrical. So maybe after all these years, what I'm doing is by being humble and going, you know what, I don't know what you would need if you wanted to do both electrical/diag as well as R&R. Like, what's a good starting foundation? Like, I'm going to remove myself from the equation. I have talked myself to death through editing. I would rather have another opinion on the same topic with a key factor and then hear his answer and what he decided. So every time you see somebody comment, hey, that's great, love the timing job, off topic. What do you think about so-and-so product? Great. So you're like, okay. So the other day we did a video, a tiny project, went out well. These are some things that I learned along the way, little tricks that I learned in between. There was somebody that had noticed that I used said tool as I was using it, wants to know how I feel about it. Look, either I've used it not very long or I've used it for a long time. This is how I feel about it. Yeah, okay. Content that people help drive. There was a certain segment of time, and I don't remember when it happened. I just remember when I started it and I kind of finished it. That people said, it's all well and good to have an opinion, but you don't have a concept of time. Like, how long did you use said product before you were set in your ways? Okay, cool. So I did for like a couple weeks. My strand of videos was years that were 10 years older, 5 years older, 7 years old, and I expressed that. But then there was a stretch of time where I was buying tools from one specific product line because they were on sale. And I kid you not, have tons of people that said, oh, must be sponsored by Craftsman. Oh, must be sponsored by fucking Harbor Freight. Oh, must be sponsored by Tekton. Must be sponsored by goddamn Snap-on. Must be sponsored by Matco. I'm like, why? Because I found a series of tools that I bought from a particular person at a given point in time and decided to share them with you? No. Yeah. Okay. There is a sponsored link. Someone gave it to me for free. Yeah, I try my best to put it's a sponsored video because they gave me a free product. I'm not being paid to promote. And I will never unjustifiably give it a positive review when I think it's a piece of shit.
Right.
Like I told you, if it's a piece of shit, it's a piece of shit, and it's your fucking fault for sending it to me. Not my fucking problem.
Exactly. And that's what I say to anybody that watches this video, this live stream right now. If you watch this and you're a tool company and you send me a tool and it sucks, be prepared. I have a lot of tools. You've seen my videos. Well, you haven't seen one other box, but you know I have a lot of tools. Don't send me crappy tools because I'm going to say it's a crappy tool because that's I did not make YouTube to make money. I did not make YouTube for a career. I made YouTube to help technicians fix cars. Hey, so Don, one thing you could do is if people are asking for something. If they're asking for a video on a timing chain job or, something like that, I know it's not what you want to create, but remember something. If you are starting to build a following, and I haven't had this yet, I'm saying this because I honestly have not come across this yet. And you mentioned it.
Real quick. Just cheers to Jerry. He keeps on saying cheers. Cheers to Jerry.
Cheers.
And also thanks, Tom. I appreciate the subscription. Thank you, brother. So cheers. I'm empty. So
if you are creating content and you want to do diagnostic and whatever direction you want to go, the first thing I want to say is I want to say what I wanted to say earlier is don't change the direction of your channel because of anything you see as far as subscribers that people have. My content has never changed. I've never changed the direction of my content. Right. And Justin helped me with a lot. Some of my subscribers are from going on with Justin, but not because they're like, oh, Justin, he's on his channel, he must be amazing. They went to my channel and they were like, oh, okay, I like his content.
Good content.
However, they just got my name out there. But don't change the direction of your channel because of how many subscribers people have or whatever. But anyways, that's not what I was going to say. If you have people that are asking for a video on a timing chain on this Cadillac or whatever it is, man, get a little tripod and put it up there and just do like a little time lapse and just edit it through and just talk it out and just maybe you're not telling them everything like, oh, well, now you're going to turn this 3 degrees. Just give them your little spin on it, right? Like, hey, you're not going to obviously do a timing chain on a Cadillac CTS unless you have some sort of repair information. However, they don't have the the real-time technician information. Like I'm doing Audi right now. I'm doing rear timing chains on a 3.0 supercharged Audi. All the chains are in the back. It's got 4 chains. And I'm doing the chains on that, but I'm not doing a repair video like you see me doing this. I'm going through, I'm talking to tensioners, I'm talking about the different timing components and my little spin on what it takes to do this job and what I would do to do it differently. Like they tell you to take the transmission out. I'm telling you, hell no. Take the engine out next time. Like it's crazy. This is nuts to go this direction. But anyways, so, you know, maybe consider that a little video to give people what they want to see.
Right. And
if they're asking for it, that's all.
Here's one thing I wanted to interject before you jump in, John. I wanted to say you can even ask Tone how many times I've asked him to do specific videos. And I'm a follower, and you would think with me, with the following that I have, what questions could he possibly have? Tons. I've got tons. And I've asked him numerous times to do certain videos that he's done. And his style, the way that he approaches it, you have guys that do repair videos where they literally show you every aspect of how to take something apart and put it together. You have other guys that do videos that show you how to diagnostic the whole thing from A to B. And then you have guys that instead of showing you the entire thing, making it a 2-hour-long video, like Tone has done, this is where I can appreciate it, he will show you various components. If you're a mechanic and you've been wrenching and doing R&R, you already know how to take the fucking thing apart. If he shows it to you and he said, hey, look, it's important to torque it because of this. The crush washer means a lot. It can change this. This means this on scan data. This is your crank no start prior. This is what it's like with a known good after. So you didn't get the entire thing. What you got was a general synopsis. And anyone that has done R&R goes, okay, yep, I fucking got it. So if I always joke and I say, sometimes with my the stuff that I do, like when I was doing the tool truck stuff and I would show a little bit of my day and then I would do the tool truck. And I made the joke, you lose the meat and potatoes aspect, meaning you can no longer see what it is that I do. But maybe you get some tool truck stuff, or maybe you just get me in the garage being the guy in the garage. But if you've been wrenching long enough, you know what it is that I'm saying, and you kind of have an idea or a basis of what it is that I'm talking about. So you should still be able to follow along, even though there's no pictures and video. So with him, the way that he does it, it's like, okay, now I understand where that. So he's giving you just the meat and potatoes. You don't have to worry about the vegetables and the broth and all the crap surrounding it. You get everything that you need or want to know if you already know how to fucking do your damn job.
Right. And see, like my very first. I like
how he does it, and that's why I asked him for various videos.
Right. And see, like I'm an excellent diagnostician, and that's literally about 90% of what I do. Like most of the stuff I diagnose, I get down to, the beans and potatoes of everything. And I have my guys go out and take care of the jobs. Unless they're tied up, I'll go out and do the jobs. But the thing is like I did my first repair video several weeks ago, and it was an hour. It was over an hour and a half long, where I was teaching people literally, turn this, turn that. Here's how much you turn it. Here's the torque. Feel it by hand. This is how I'm feeling it. This is what I'm feeling when I do it. It was a timing belt on a 2002 Honda Accord with a V6. I think it was like a 3.0 or something like that. But anyway, so I was just, talking about the balancers and everything. I mean, I got into super finite detail.
Yeah, you're
way more than I had to. And I think I also had a lot of dead space in my video where there was like 30 or 40 seconds where nothing was even happening in the video. And then I go and look at my most recent video where I've cut things out and added in words and added in photos and links and everything. And I've gotten a lot better at editing the videos that I put out. But now I have to find a way to combine that and shorten it, condense it. into everything because I want to do a lot of diagnostic videos, but I am like that comment that he just threw up on there. I am super OCD. I'm very nitpicky. When I diagnose something, I can say, okay, for certain, I'm 100% sure this is the cause, but I am that type of person that will still check everything else. Even though I'm 100% sure, I will still check every other circuit, relay, fuse, 5-volt reference. I will check everything. I will double and triple check, and I don't want all that in a video. So I gotta
you can have it,
balance.
But you can have that in the video without always having to explain it.
Right. And see, I gotta be happy with the video.
You got just real quick. So you put a scan tool in, you get the code, right? Mm-hmm. Instead of waiting for the whole thing to do the boot up, you get to the code list. Chop it from the time that you plugged it in to the time that you got your code list. Delete that whole thing. Show the code. A couple seconds, chop. Okay. Now you turn the camera to yourself. Where do we go from here? Well, from here, I like to check fuses first, or I like to, we have now a code. Now we have to find the symptom. What's our symptom? Okay. What is affected within the circuitry? So for an evap leak, we know we're going to probably have to smoke test it. Where would I go to smoke test it? Where do I go to pinch it off? Where I would go with this code. Cut camera. Even if you have it set up for 5 minutes and takes you 5 minutes to set it up, instead of setting it up, you cut right to where it's all set up. You go, okay, look, I pinched off this hose. I had to go into the scan data. You should take a little picture. I had to turn on or actuate the purge solenoid to shut it off in order for it to close loop, in order for me to smoke test the rear tank to see if it's leaking. And now we're going to look for a leak. Cut camera. Now you take your light. Okay, we're looking for a leak. Okay, notice nothing's happening. Now where do we go from here? Cut camera. And then you go to the front. So you already know what you're doing and how you're doing it, but that's how you chop it up and break it up into certain segments. There are certain times that I get stuff where I'm doing videos and I'm like, I go off on a tangent. Right. So some people will see my stuff and they're like, but you edited a lot. No, I took out 30 seconds of bullshit that was irrelevant and then shortened it up. Some people complain that the videos are too long, but not very many. Most people actually like long videos. And they can skim through by hitting the arrow button to where they want to get to. They miss something, they hit the back arrow.
Right.
They get that.
So John, what I would recommend with that as being a diagnostician, and I also go to YouTube if I'm trying to get to the meat and potatoes of something. So I'm a flat rate tech, right? In California, it's not flat rate, but basically it is. So if you were going to make a diagnostic video, I would make it in the aspect of you're looking at it as, well, first of all, you need to pick your audience, right? Are you aiming at me, or are you aiming at young guys that are just learning, right? If you're aiming at young guys that are learning, you need to cut it to pretend you're a flat rate young guy. I know that's a little bit difficult, and you have to come into a different mindset, because and I'm being honest, if you went into, I check this and then I check every other thing on the vehicle, I would tune out.
Right.
But I have experience that's a little different for me. But I would imagine a young guy wouldn't watch all of that. I'm trying to help. Right. So what I would do is maybe diagnose it as a flat rate tech in your video, but give little tips like, hey, make sure you check, because we know that there's certain cars that have certain problems, right? And okay, so when you go to diagnose a vehicle, most of the time you have a pretty good idea about what it probably is. And now I said most of the time. Sometimes it's like, what the hell? How is it the trailer brake module? But you know what I mean? So you're going to go at that, but you double check. See, I diagnose in a flat rate aspect, so I don't go to the aspects that you do. Like, I'm like, okay, cool. This is where it's pointing. I've tested everything. That's where it is. That's where we're going. Am I wrong? Yeah, 1 in 97% of the time. You know what I mean? But for the most part, I'm right. My experience tells me that I'm correct. My experience tells me when I need to go and do it like you do, where you test everything. But you need to decide at what point are you going to do that in your video.
Right.
So you don't lose people. I don't want you to lose anybody.
Right.
If you go too deep and you test too many things, you're going to lose guys, and that's going to hurt you. So remember that you want to test it in a flat rate manner with giving tips and pointers on what to look at and what to check besides the whole flow chart.
Right. And see, most of my videos, I do like tool reviews, just kind of day in the life stuff. So I don't have a ton of like diagnostic or repair videos out. I've kind of held back on that for that reason, because I have to basically take the videos, I have to watch them, I edit them, I save them to my desktop, and I'll go back and watch them and say, is this something that somebody would be interested in? Am I interested in watching my own content? And at a certain point, I'm just like, okay, I'm bored, and I never upload the video.
That depends.
I just went and made I just want to tell them something before I take a leak. I just went and made a 6-liter no start video, and I made this video, and this video is going to be great for the guy at home with the little code reader, the young tech with the OBD2 scanner, the young tech with the regular scanner, because it costs nothing in repair in tools to buy. So if you want to see it, I go check out that video. It'll give you an idea. But that video is not something that I was hoping would gain like a ton of views in a week. It was a video that I knew people would watch over time. And over time, it would help people. And it would help young guys that are learning how to diagnose a 6-liter diesel.
Actually, I saw that video. I know you posted one. I actually watched it. I think I watched a ton of YouTube today, and it was actually popped up, I think, in one of my recommended feeds. And I watched a portion of it. I don't think I watched the whole thing, but I'm definitely going to go back and watch it, because I'd like to see how you put your video together and clip to clip kind of thing, how you do. I think I would like to try and learn a little bit better about how to format my videos.
And that thing took me I probably had 17 different videos because this thing came in as the customer had. It was a no start, and they didn't tell us the truth, that they just bought the truck for $2,000. And if they had told us that in the beginning, it would have been a different story. But anyways, it came in with leaking fuel. And you work on 6-liter, so you know that leaking fuel and fuel is not a no start on a 6-liter.
Yeah.
And so anyways, what Justin said earlier was at the end of my video, I showed the repair porch. And you know what? We can't always do that. As we work in the field like this one, I was fortunate where I was able to show the actual fix. I was actually able to show the cranking and how long it took for it to build oil pressure to start. But now we don't always get that opportunity. Sometimes I get, sometimes I don't have the opportunity. I actually had a 6-liter a week before, but I couldn't film it because of the time frame. Mm-hmm. And so this one was perfect. So it's all about opportunity. So, but this took me about probably 17. I probably had at least 17 different videos on this truck. It might have been more. Now, because it was a course of a week and a half.
Outside of recording, I can say it's the same exact thing too when it comes to newer technicians, right?
Absolutely.
The certification is for brakes, believe it or not.
That says ask someone else.
And this ASE certification that I hold for brakes in A5 is expired.
Doesn't that say ask someone else?
And this is for G1.
So wait, G1?
You have
the G1?
Yeah.
All right.
Little teeny tiny patch. Right.
I love it. Oh, they give you a patch for that?
A little one for 1 year, and then
that's cute.
2 years or more, right?
Yeah, that's
Even
cute.
I've been doing it for a decade.
Let me go to the bathroom real quick.
I'm going to go to the bathroom then too. So when you come back, I don't want you to hear it, so I'll wait till you come back. I'll be right back.
All right. Yeah.
All right, well, hurry up, because I got to take a leak too. I'll scroll through the comments real quick. I'm going to have to go out here in a minute. Hey, Yoda Doug, thanks for joining the chat. I know we haven't been paying attention to the chat. We've been just having a a little chatty fest. Famous Slick Rick, thanks for joining, brother. I appreciate it. I know maybe okay, it looks like you're here for Dustin, but thanks for joining. I appreciate it. I always appreciate anyone who comes in to check it out. Oh, so Anthony, man, check out the 6-liter no start. Man, so a 6-liter works on high pressure oil, right? And 99% of the time, if there's a problem, it's a high pressure oil problem. Watch that video because I talk about how to diagnose that problem, how to figure out if you have that problem, and how to diagnose that problem. So
I need a nuts and bolts hat.
Oh, my wife got me this for Christmas, and I don't have a logo yet, so she left the front blank for a logo. So that's all I have. I don't have a logo yet. So all
right. So here it is. So
I gotta take a leak. Hang on 1 second.
Okay. Go for it.
Oh no, I'll wait. We'll wait until he comes back. All right, check that show in the house. Juan Pratt, good night. Good night to your mom too.
It's raining its ass off over here. I mean, the sky is leaking right now worse than a 12 valve Cummins halfway through the quarter.
Is it wrong to love somebody else's mom just because she really loves the channel and she loves getting shout outs? I just adore that. I adore that factor. I've never met Mr. Juan Pratt, but I know that he was watching my videos with his mom, and she thoroughly enjoys the channel. So It's pretty cool to be able to give her a little shout out. And
he actually asked earlier.
Love, you know.
Yeah, he actually asked earlier. He said he was in Tennessee. I guess he was looking at coming to me for some mechanic services or something like that. Just a shout out to Juan. I am just on the northeast side of Nashville. I don't know if you saw it, man, but we had that bomb that went off in Nashville several weeks ago.
Had not seen it.
Yeah, that dude, some dude drove a motorhome into downtown Nashville and basically committed suicide and detonated a bomb in downtown. It was 6 a.m. in the morning on Christmas Day.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So now that Tone's back. All right. So getting back to certain pieces of information. I had this lube tech. He's up and coming. He's not there yet. But he's getting there. So we were doing the alignment. I'm bad, man. When I'm bad, and I was bad. And he goes, hey, so when it says that, what does it mean? I said, look, man, I ain't got time to talk about this. Look, it's almost 7 o'clock. I'm not that guy, okay? I'm not that guy. I can't explain it to you. We're looking for green. When it's green, we good.
Green is go.
If it's not green and it's red, that's bad. Okay, we're gonna try to make it green. And so we start going green. Well, but why? What direction you have to turn? I said, look, just watch the goddamn screen. When it turns fucking green, we're gonna tighten it up. We're gonna go to the other side and do the same thing. So we started doing it. I get on the desk. He goes, man, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to like nudge you wrong. I said, no, you're good. Look, let me go clock off. You want to talk? We can talk. That's after clock stuff. On the clock, I'm a different person. Look, they're different time, different. I ain't got the answers for you on everything. So I went and I clocked out, came back and said, okay, now we can bullshit. We're done with the job. Day's done. So it's like already 7:15. I said, I got shit to do. I was like, look, well, that's bullshit. Okay, now you want to bullshit? Let's go ahead. Bullshit. What do you want to talk? Well, why do this? So look, when the tires are showing displacement like this, it's towed in. When it's like this, it's towed out. I said, no, yeah, you could have camber stuff where it's like this. could be positive when it's like this. Maybe it's negative, whatever the fuck. I said there's caster, it's like this. It could be negative forward. It could be positive. It changes things. I said, I don't know why it does that, what causes it. All I can tell you is that you want to get it into the green. I know how to get it into the green. That's all I'm focused on. So once you get to a certain mentality, that's your focus. How to get it green. I know what to adjust and know what to do in order to get it to where it's green, and we're done. So at the end of the day, I'm not the guy that's going to be able to walk you through like what degrees mean this and why it means this. Like I don't have that kind of time frame, and you might not either. I said you need to talk to the shop foreman. He's the book guy. I'm not. You want to know how to do it and how to make it green. I'll tell you, you turn it one direction, it goes more red, you turn it back the other. Once it goes green, you tighten it up. That's what I know. So he's like, okay. I said, no, this is how you keep track of your hours, because he wanted to know how to keep track of his hours. So we had like a 20-minute discussion on how to do that because he wasn't sure how to do it. But he wants to get there because Mike just got leveled up. He's still down at the bottom. And I'm like, well, how much training have you done? What have you done to, like, if they pull you in, say your hours are lacking, what do you do? He's like, well, I keep the same sheet until all the little stickers are full. Fuck that. You keep track of it every day. You get a new sheet every single day. So I had to go through that with him.
You know what, man? When you have somebody that's that green, you know what you need to advise them? Somebody told me a long time ago. Go home and you need to study. Now, you need to go online.
I can't do that. I can't. That would be a lie. Because, see, for me,
why?
I don't have time to learn all the ins and outs of every single system that I work on.
No, that's not what I mean. That's not what I mean.
Okay.
I mean, understanding. It's not about what degrees and all that, right? What is camber? What is caster? Caster is a grocery store cart, right? What is camber? Camber is the wheels turning in and out. What is toe? Toe is the wheels turning. Hang on, my camera's, it's so weird. The wheels turning this way, right? So he needs to read up on what those angles are, right? Because there's a whole bunch of alignment angles, but we only measure a few of them, right? There's what? Isn't there
3?
What?
3 that I care about.
But no. But I mean, there's other ones, but
yeah,
there's other ones that mean different things. But I mean, the only 3 that we care about, right?
Right.
If you get that problem child, you need to know all of them.
I'm not an alignment tech. This is the second might be my third alignment in the last week and a half, and I haven't done one in 8 years.
No, I know, but Justin, what I meant was if you come across someone that is like, what is A, what is B, what is C, what is D, what is E, have no idea, and you need to advise them to go study outside of work. Look, if they want to exceed and excel, they need to learn outside of work and they need to learn what the different things are. And that's it. And leave it at that and drop it.
It's like going to school and using homework.
No, but beside all that, I'm more of a grunt than you think.
No, I know you're a grunt. I know you're a grunt.
I know
you're a grunt.
Even the shop foreman and the service manager were rolling their eyes at me when I was talking to him because they said, do you want to go on to Winto and have the ginormous display? I said, fuck that shit. That shit's stupid. Look, I'm looking at all 3. If I change this and something else changes, I did bad. Okay? I'm looking for everything to be green. I don't need to have an individual display. It's showing 3. I can move it. It turns green. Cool. I lock it in and go to the next one. I see all 3 on the one path. They wanted me to do this step by step. You know how they do on the toe machine. You start on this side, you go to this side, then you go to this side. And you go, fuck that. You give me the main screen. And I go start doing this, and then I change this, and everything starts lighting up. Cool. We good. Road test it. We done.
Well,
and they were blowing away. They're like, you just skipped like 8 to 10 steps. Yeah, because it's not needed. It's all there.
That's why you need to not say anything. What I meant was you said, let me punch out and we can talk. I wouldn't have said, let me punch out and we can talk. I would have said, you need to go and start Googling. And I would have left it at that and come back and let me know what you read in a week. Yeah. Because if you talk to someone that doesn't know shit, then there's nothing that you can do because you don't understand it all. Like you, and I no disrespect. I don't mean any disrespect by that.
I don't know everything.
You are so the way that you're doing it is not the way that somebody would do it. They would do caster camber and then they would do Wintow. Because they don't know what they're doing. They don't understand. I don't do a ton of alignments. And so I still come across guys that do Wintow and don't do Wintow. But it doesn't matter because you do caster camber and then you do toe. You don't do toe and then caster and camber. See, you're not a teacher. That's not your job. That's not what you do. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to help you heat it off at the pass. When it starts to come down the road, be like, whoa, stop. Here we go. I'm doing an alignment. That's it. Bye-bye. Yeah. I'm doing it. This is not and you need to just stop and say, this is not the way that you do it. I'm not teaching you how to do it this way. I'm trying to get it done. And when I'm done, I'm going home because you're not trying to teach him how. You're not teaching him how to do it. You're not teaching him the right way because it doesn't matter. You get the results. You're not doing it the right way. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether you're doing it the right way or not. You're getting the results. If you're not teaching someone how to do it, the best thing for you is just to stop and say, look, go read about it.
Hey, I hate to cut you guys off, but I gotta be up at like 7 a.m. with my 2-year-old. So
I gotta bounce.
I'm gonna hop off here, but what I'll do is I'll text you guys. I'll text both of you tomorrow sometime in the afternoon or something and let you know for certain time on the live stream. I'll get with both of you and see what's good with all you guys.
But are you doing we can definitely hit it up
Sunday. Huh?
Are you doing it tomorrow or are you doing it Sunday? I thought you were doing it Sunday, right?
Sunday, yeah. Okay. So I'll text you guys tomorrow.
Tomorrow I got plans, but Sunday I don't.
I have plans on Sunday, but we'll see what time. So text me and let me know.
I'll text you and find out a good time for you. And then once we get a time set, Justin, I'll send you a text and we'll get it set up from there. But I'm going to hop off here so I can get some sleep because I have to deal with an ornery 2-year-old probably about 6:30 in the morning.
Yeah, it's like 12:30 there because it's like Central, Eastern / West Coast,
and Southwest Mexico time thing. Yeah. So anyway, guys,
it's been a pleasure having you on, John. Thanks for coming on, buddy.
Definitely going to do it again. Justin, good talking with you.
Cheers.
But yeah, cheers, guys. Y'all have a good night. Keep drinking.
All right.
Have some beers for me.
Take care, brother.
All right, guys. Later.
All right, good night. All right, so Justin, I actually got to get off here in a minute, but I got 2 little kids that are waiting to get in here to have a sleepover. But anyways, so what I'm getting at is I'm trying to help you just heat it off at the pass for 2 reasons. 1, you don't want to mislead the guy, and 2, you don't want to waste your time. So I've been the guy who's just trying to get shit done. You're getting paid to just get it done, not to teach. So heat it off at the pass. Don't teach. Look, I'm just here. And just tell somebody right off the bat, look, if it was me, it was Friday. It's the end of the day. I'm working a long day. I'm trying to get it done. Look, this is not the way you're going to do it. I'm just trying to get it done. I need to get it done. I need results. I need to get home. The best thing for you to do is go and read and try to understand the different alignment angles and leave it at that. That's the end of your job right there. And the only reason I say that is because you want to make sure that you don't lead him down the wrong path. Because if he thinks like, oh, this is what we're doing here. Oh, no Wintow. We just all in the green. That's wrong. I don't do a ton of alignments, but that's not how somebody would do it unless they knew what they were doing.
Right.
You're making money. You're making money. You have to get something done. You want to get home. You have stuff to do. It's late. You just tell them like, hey, this is not the way you do it. This is the way I'm going to do it. We're just going to get results. You need to go and read about these angles, and that's it. Leave it at that, and just cut it off at the pass. Either teach somebody the right way, or tell them that they need to come back on a different day. That's my advice.
I appreciate that, and I will keep that in the think tank for future reference for sure, because I always appreciate your advice. I will tell you that I think that I also teach old dogs new tricks sometimes too.
But old dogs that understand. You gotta remember, there's a difference between a newbie and an old dog. An old dog who doesn't know anything, or an old dog who knows a lot, but doesn't know a lot, is different than a young guy who doesn't know a lot, who doesn't know a lot. There's a big difference between a young guy and an old guy who knows a lot.
Well, this old guy knows a lot, and like he rebuilds transmissions and that kind of stuff, right? And I was in the parts counter, and I was waiting for a stud for this leveling kit. He goes, "Hey, you've taken out a Jeep transmission?" Yeah. And he goes, "You done the clutch and the slave cylinder?" Yeah. And he goes, "What's the tolerance between the slave cylinder and the input shaft?" Yada yada yada. So, what tolerance?
You replace the assembly.
And he goes, "What do you mean what tolerance? There's a tolerance spec." I said,
No.
"Motherfucker, I pull that bitch out and I fucking gun it and run it." And he goes, "What?" And I was like, "Yeah." And another old guy that was next to him goes, "Well, there's a right way and there's a wrong way." I was like, "And there's a way to get paid." And I want to tell you, it don't fucking matter at the end of the day so long as that bitch engages.
Oh my God, that's like measuring brake pedal heights.
This guy had the transmission out 3 times.
Oh my God.
And it was nothing that was like fully like his fault. Some of it was internal, so he had to fix some stuff that he messed up rebuilding the trans. The other stuff had to do with the flex plate. Not sure what the hell he did. But he was there there's been 2 or 3 days of him trying to do this clutch job. And plus rebuild of the transmission. I'm like, I mean, I hadn't had to rebuild one. Sounds like a bearing is bad. Sounds like a synchro is not meshing up. Like, it sounds like shit. And he goes, "I don't know." So he started going through it, and he was asking me this tolerance stuff. I'm like, "Dude, it's not a slave cylinder. Look, slave cylinder, there's 3 bolts. You unbolt it. You fucking bolt the next one on. You zip it down with the fucking gun. You're good. Okay, you lube the input shaft. You stab the motherfucker in. If there's any kind of noise, it's probably coming from something that you did internally, because we bled the shit out of the clutch. I helped them bleed the clutch. So even though I got only 7 hours flagged today, I spent in about a half an hour to an hour helping him trying to do his job. But I was okay with that. It was whatever. I'm cool. I mean, I did okay for the whole week. Wasn't a big deal. Like, they had a minimum requirement. I exceeded that by almost 50%. So obviously I was good. So I was like, "Yeah, I'll help you out. Whatever. Let's do it." You know. But he was 60. He's 65 years old. I'm 37, and he's been turning wrenches for 40 fucking years. And it blew his mind that I was just willing to zip zap. And I was like, "Yeah, man, that's all it takes."
Yeah.
You don't need a feeler gauge. You don't need to fucking go sometimes it is what it is. Like that, but they weren't trying to hear that. Like, it, you know what I mean? Like, I got that kind of response from both these old guys, and I was like, "Dude, I'm telling you, look, I've been at the independent world. You were talking about timing stuff. I don't have cam locks and this and that for a vehicle. You know how I do timing? I rip the fucking chain off. I go link to link. I fucking wrap it around. I put shit back together, and I send it. I don't have time to figure out what fucking specialty bullshit goes where." Like, in the beginning, I was like, "Oh, we need specialty tool. Can't do the job. Fuck you, figure it out." After so many times of that, hearing that, I was like, "Okay, cool." Now I'm of the assumption I don't need this shit. All I need to do is fucking zip zap, fucking bat, and I'm done. And they're blown away by it. They're like, "How could you do that? You need special tool. You need this. You need that." I'm like, "No, you don't. Take the fucking thing off. Put the fucking shit together. You're done. You're welcome." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I get it, but I don't. At the same time, look, hey, That's where I separate myself from them. It's like, look, I'm back at the dealer. I am trying to do it the dealer way. As far as having to ask for parts and wait, because you need to have 95% or better of their parts come from factory. I get that part, and I do that part. And there's a delay, and I get that part. But I'm not working on 5 or 6 cars at a time anymore. I'm only working on like 2 or 3 at a time. So that's a small change.
Right.
And I know shortcuts that even parts department doesn't know. And it's like, dude, how do you not know this? It's the same shit. You tell me it's going to take a week to get crush washer gaskets. It's the same.
Oh, yeah, I remember that, yeah.
Get the fucking shit coming. It's come from the same fucking place. God damn it. Let's get the job done and be done.
I have a couple of those in my toolbox.
Right. So I'm like, okay, I get it, but I don't. That's why I'm starving. Other than that, everything's been good. But yeah, like some of these older guys will ask me questions. I'm like, yeah, you can skip that. You don't need any of that.
Right. A new guy, I would have just told him like flat out, like, look, this is not the right way. You need to go and YouTube this, research it, and that's it. And just cut it off at the pass. That's just my advice. I like to help people, but if somebody's that green and they don't understand anything, I'm like, dude, you need to go back and like look at like the basics of how this stuff works. So I got to bounce, man. I hate to cut you off, but I have got to get off here.
All right, brother. Well, I appreciate the hangout. It was a good hangout. So thanks
for sure. Yeah, thanks for getting on, man.
Cheers.
It's awesome, dude. Well, have a good night, buddy. Enjoy your family time tomorrow.
You too, brother.
Have a good night, dude.
Later.